every Wednesday night, the original location in Crestline, live music Friday and Birmingham institution, it's Odie's Tavern.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off?
My balls was hot.
I understand.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light. We start first with another Florida man in the news. 18-year-old in Florida has been arrested after he posted footage of a high-speed chase with police on TikTok, and police then used the video to find him. Well, I would tell you, our youth is really, really stupid.
Not smart. No, they are stupid, and then the social media posting is adding to people doing crazier things. I'm almost, you know how there are certain things that are classified as hate crimes to up the charges? I think we should have a category that if you're posting some of these things on social media, that should take the penalty to a different category, almost like the internet version of hate crime.
And I'll tell you what's going to happen is TikTok's going to get named in one of these lawsuits or one of these civil suits when somebody dies.
For allowing this content?
Yeah, because TikTok won't allow us to talk about certain sponsors, but they're going to allow this bullshit? I mean, does that make any sense?
Look at him taunting the police officer
So
right there.
the reason they can do that and why TikTok is not responsible for this idiot's behavior is, I believe it's called Section 231, and basically that splits the difference between a platform and a publisher. So like TikTok and YouTube are platforms. The idea is that they can't just remove you for your opinions, but
you can remove us for having a certain advertiser on?
Well, that's the whole debate that's been going on for about 10 years
so
now.
So this makes a lot of sense. We can post this.
All the benefits of both and none of the responsibilities of either publisher or platform.
By the way, he should do prison time. I mean, look how dangerous he is for the other
if
drivers.
I had a shitty car, I would just,
For the other drivers, I mean, that would scare me to where I would react and jerk into maybe. I mean, if I accidentally hit him as he was going on the white line, I would be in trouble.
Yeah, I try to be
and
more...
him taunting the police at that point.
To swerve. If you sneeze, he's dead.
I rode to lunch Saturday with Layton. And I know she's not listening. She's not a good driver. She's not.
Oh, dear.
And Layton now is, 21 years old. And I'm a little sympathetic having kid drivers because, if this guy rides up on the ass of Layton, she's going to panic.
Yeah, I would panic. I mean, if all of a sudden, because I watch my rear view and side mirrors all the time.
I'd just jam on the brakes.
And then all of a sudden, if it's out of nowhere, then that's on me. I'm going to react because I'm watching my mirrors all the time. I'm not the guy on the show that overreacts to things. Lance will put a bullet in you in a heartbeat.
He will. That's true.
But
either a bullet or exile.
You're with Lance on this one?
When this guy's driving that fast, and then when he starts to taunt me as a police officer, I think I'm okay with him pulling out a weapon and dropping that back tire really quick.
Wow.
So this is 18-year-old
I'm
Derek.
not saying shoot him, but hit that back tire.
And
then whatever 120 miles an hour does to you, does to you.
It's not going to be good.
Yeah. And at that point, I'm working with CSI. It's like, shut that. Yeah, was it a blowout or did my bullet hit it?
So this is 18-year-old Derek Walker of Navarre, Florida. He did this back in February. Upwards of 90 miles an hour in 35-mile-an-hour speed zones. Now, officers noted that Walker's bike had a long-action camera pole attached to the back, no license plate attached. Deputy turned his lights and sirens on. That's when he
crave activity like we do. You belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We're going to get to all the greatness in basketball, including Troy punching their ticket again last night. That'll be in segment number 2 today. Clay Travis, always with us on Tuesdays. We'll start hour number 2 off in segment 3. If you're listening and watching live, if you're along on the podcast, thanks for being with us. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Can we start with just a little imagination in college football? We'll get to all the craziness in the NFL today. One of my favorite Bucks of all time is gone now. But do you mind, Lance, if we look into the future of college football?
Oh, sure.
Get your crystal balls out.
Yeah, get your crystal balls out. This is
next Indiana?
No, this is
maybe.
Ralph Russo did a lot of work on this for The Athletic, projecting who every Power 5, Power 4 coaching head coach is in 2030.
So just 4 short years from now.
Just 4 short years from now. Who's at, and we're not going to do every one. I'm going to bounce around the jobs, but 2030. So you got 26, 27, 28, 29, 4 full seasons left where everybody is going into the 2030 season. Are you on board to open up your mind and your imagination to what could be in college football?
Let's do it.
Okay. And again, this is The Athletic. If you guys want to go like, subscribe, and follow along. Clemson.
I am
in 2030. First question is, do you think
No.
Ralph Russo thinks Dabo Swinney's there? Do you think Dabo Swinney's there?
I don't think Dabo's there. You know, it was one of those things that, and Dabo's relatively young still when it comes to head coaching age, but just and it's weird to say this out loud, Brown, because we talk about where Clemson is. Clemson won the ACC championship just a calendar year ago, and they were in the college football playoff, but it felt a lot different from the really good Clemson teams. I just think where they are right now, the most important thing is Clemson fans are ready for a move. So I don't think there's any chance he's there in 2030.
And it seems like it's wearing on Dabo too. You know, it just seems like this world of college football, he doesn't have 4 more years in him.
Do you blame him that he? I mean, you could get a little pissed off at your own fans.
Yeah,
for all you've done for them,
no doubt. And you know, Dabo. Look, I'm not going to criticize Dabo for this. He is who he is, and he's like, I've got a set of principles that, you know, I believe this is the way it ought to be done, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm not going to change. I've done it this way, but, you know, that's also, you know, a way not to keep up, and I don't believe he has kept up because of his principles. But, you know, I mean, I'm not going to say you should sell out just to keep up. The other option is to get out of the gig, and I think that's eventually what he'll do. But, boy, I tell you what, it's a good job when he leaves it. Like, I think if Dabo retired tomorrow –
okay, this is why I put this one number 1.
Well,
how good of a job is it?
I think it's a good job.
I think it's a really good job. But, I mean, Dabo, back to what you just asked, Brown, the ingratitude. There's a difference. Like, I think when you get a certain program to a level like he did with Clemson, playing for championships and winning championships, that there should always be a respect factor. And he really should be taken care of by that fan base, but at the same time, he's making $10+ million.
Yeah,
so
it cuts both ways, right?
It really does. So, like, he is, as he's had more success, he's made more and more and more money. So there is an expectation there. But I do think he is one of those guys that's got a top right drawer. Back to your old top right drawer, and he's not going to forget.
Yeah, I think it's a good job, Jim. Like, if Dabo left tomorrow, I think people would look at that and say he's been able to recruit there. He was able to recruit there when he wasn't playing the NIL game and the transfer portal game. I'll play that game.
It was a different era. I don't know how much money Clemson has.
Yeah, they've got facilities. You know, I bet in their conference, I would say only Miami has a better NIL.
Yeah,
in their conference.
maybe better NIL, but not facilities. I'm sure you guys have heard the same thing. People are blown away, and you know, people that are really involved in the SEC that have gone to those facilities just say it's just light years ahead. And now that was maybe 5 or 10 years ago, but I still think, with all things considered, it's a top 15 job, borderline top 10.
Yeah. We won't spend this much time on every one of them, but this one is why I started with this one's fascinating. Ralph Russo, Dabo not there in 2030. his replacement. And Ralph writes before he does all these replacements, I take into consideration career arc, athletic directors, NIL funding, all of that. And he even says at the end of this, saying, to be very clear here, though, in my eyes, the question is Clemson a clear upgrade from blank for this guy? And it's Rhett Lashley at SMU, being the coach at Clemson in 2030. And I agree with Ralph. When I first saw that, I'm like, if you're Rhett Lashley, do you really leave SMU to go to Clemson? And I know historically Clemson's done a lot more than SMU, but when I start looking at this period of college football, I'm not sure Clemson has more than SMU does.
I would say, I just said there's probably no better NIL other than Miami in that conference, but if there is a fan base that could support an NIL to a higher level than Clemson, it would be SMU. Plenty of money in that fan base.
Yeah,
I just don't know how much they've tapped into.
You've got plenty of money, but it just seems different with like the fanfare. Like Clemson has got a massive fan base.
They do.
That travels. They're so passionate. So I think you could weigh it either way. I think it's a really, really close decision. And if you're already there, why would you would you relocate if you've already got something dialed in? But at the same time, I personally believe Clemson's a better job.
Like I think some of these coaches, like Rhett, on a really good day at home, I coach in front of 40,000 fans.
40,000.
And I don't know how much that drives those guys. Like, do they want to be
so much so that SMU is moving a game? I forget which one it is this year to
the Jerry World.
To Jerry
World.
It's
LSU, isn't it? Or LSU is one of them in the upcoming future.
Yeah, maybe what it is.
They're basically sacrificing a home game because the LSU would have more fans there.
Yeah. Florida State, Mike Norvell. 2030?
No, I don't know if it would be 2027.
Kenny Dillingham is the projection.
Boy, we put a lot of stock in Dillingham.
Lance, he made the playoffs.
He did.
Louisville, Jeff Brom, he says Brom is still there in 2030.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, I think he'll still be there.
At this point last year, there's no way we would have said Mario Cristobal's going to get fired. And I do think that he has bought himself another couple of years, but I think Miami is one of these jobs now that just because you got to the mountaintop or at least you could see a championship, that they're going to expect that this year.
Yep.
You're paying a quarterback in Darian Minson as much or more than you played Carson Beck, and the expectation is, hey, we should dominate the ACC. So I think it's dicey. I will lean that Cristobal will be there.
He says Cristobal's there. Feels like Cristobal's just getting started. No one Bill Belichick. No one Doran. No one Narduzzi. Who do you think he has replacing Lashley
at SMU? Again, much better job than Rhett found. He will, if he takes the Clemson job, he will have left SMU in a good spot. And as somebody points out in the chat room, Blake points out, remember, SMU's not taking conference money right now, and they're still staying relevant. That tells you the kind of money they've got that they told the ACC.
Yeah. They basically did the Masters during network TV where they say, don't worry about selling sponsors.
We got this.
Yeah.
We got this covered.
You don't need to sell commercials.
Yeah, so SMU's got plenty of money. Who would be the replacement?
I'm going to randomly say he's just got a job, but I'm going to say Eric Morris from Oklahoma State.
Interesting.
Coming up a little bit later on.
And the only reason Eric Morris, Texas guy, played at Texas Tech, coached North Texas, and you guys would agree right now SMU is a better job than Oklahoma State.
I'll give you a one hint, and then I'll tell you because it's a wild one. But this would be an SEC coach who's had success relocating to get a fresh start because not the success that's expected of him. Not Kalen DeBoer.
Either Levy or Stein.
One of those is coming up a little bit later on. Josh Heupel.
Ooh,
it says
that's a
things
wild
have not gone well in Knoxville.
Boy.
You don't leave Tennessee for SMU.
No. He's one step ahead of the posse if that's the case.
SMU is a great spot for a successful coach to reset his clock.
Yeah, well, that's what he'd be doing is resetting the clock. Yeah.
Others jobs we don't care about. Virginia Tech, James Franklin. He thinks Franklin is still there.
Yeah, I would agree.
2030.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know how much you can trust Franklin, and I say that I've never met the guy. But, I mean, if he has a lot of success over the next couple of years, do you really believe he's going to stay at Virginia Tech? That job is always going to be Frank Beamer.
I played golf with a mutual friend of ours that's a Virginia Tech fan Friday.
By the way, gave me this.
Yeah, and we were laughing about James Franklin. His motto is reset the standard or something like that. And he's got all the T-shirts. And I saw a photo of James Franklin standing there talking to his team, wearing a shirt that says "Resetting the Standard" or re-getting something about bringing the standard of Virginia Tech back, and standing next to him as last year's coach, who was his current defensive coordinator. I'm like, how awkward does that seem? Like,
but what a great testament of their relationship.
Yeah, that Franklin basically is coming in saying, y'all have not lived up to the standard. This has been awful. I am resetting to the Virginia Tech standard. And standing next to him was the coach that just got fired.
Yeah, this is
so weird.
I just don't know how excited you can get. I mean, if I'm a Virginia Tech fan, at least I'm buying a little bit and I have some optimism. But this is almost like, your husband or your wife's overweight. They get on Ozempic. They start looking good again. And then, after a year, it blows back up.
He's known as a wonderful recruiter, though. So we'll see.
Franklin? Yeah, I think he'll be there that long.
Oh, I think he's going to have success there. Yeah. I just think it's going to be a tease job, and I think he'll jump back out.
Arizona State with Dillingham gone. Dan Mullen will be the head coach there in 2030.
I can see that.
That'd be a pretty good fit, I think.
I think so, too. Let's see. There was one other there. Texas Tech's an interesting job in that league. It'll be the last Big 12 before we tell you about our friends at Hoover Toyota.
I don't think Joey McGuire will be there by this.
He's not.
I don't respect the job he did this year, and that's not fair.
Well,
he might be a hell of a coach.
Playoffs.
No, I get it. But, I mean, that was the expectation, right? We talked about it in the offseason. He's back-to-back 8 wins. If he doesn't knock on the door of the playoffs, he's probably out this year because they can just figure with the roster they're able to pay for, they can go out and get another coach. I don't think he will ever get the credit that he probably deserves. So I think he's out.
Ralph Russo's projection at Texas Tech for 2030, Lincoln Riley of USC.
Much like Josh Heupel has not gone well in Los Angeles.
Yeah, one step ahead of the posse, but I could see Lincoln, the Cliff Kingsbury type coach there, but now with a better budget.
Texas Tech could have the money and motivation to provide an off-ramp and bring Riley back home to Lubbock from USC.
I would just say this. He believes Mario Cristobal is just getting going. I think Lincoln Riley is about to get this thing going at SC.
Okay, Big Ten SEC jobs. After we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors, one of them is our friends at Hoover Toyota.
I had the opportunity to catch up with our friends at Hoover Toyota last week and just loved going by there and seeing Kim and Harold and Scott and all the fine folks. Great inventory, great finance options. Purchased late in a car back in December of 2024. Got my new car in October of this year. My ex-wife got her new car just a couple of months ago. Their inventory offers a fantastic selection. Their on-site finance department provides affordable financing options. They also have that red carpet program, gives you ways to let your friends and family experience an amazing customer experience with their referral program. Stop in to one of those, or to that great location, Highway 150. Make sure you tell all the folks, the guys from the Next Round sent you. You can view the inventory and great pricing today at hoovertoyota.com.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented by our guy, Alexander Shinara, Shinara.com, Shinara.com. You know by now, Alexander Shinara handles personal injury cases, right? He's certainly made a name for that. But what you might not know is he handles numerous other cases at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Things like fire and storm damage cases. You may have had some storm damage overnight. Personal injury claims, yes. Bad drug and device claims, yes. Disability, yes. Workers' compensation, host of other claims. So when you find yourself in need of an attorney for any reason, Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys, you pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
We continue the spotlight. The imagination of Ralph Russo at The Athletic is a complete story there for you if you're a subscriber. If not, I always recommend it. Big Ten and SEC jobs in 2030 now, projecting out. Kirk Cignetti, Indiana, up long in the tooth. You think he's still there in 2030?
He is there as long as he wants to be there. I assume he's going to retire there. His energy, he seems somewhat young for his age, so I think he's got another 10 years.
I had a chemistry teacher in high school that was mean and nobody liked her. Ended up being a sweet lady once you got to know her. But she used to say, y'all may not like me, but I am going to die with this marker in my hand, as she was writing on the dry erase board. That is Kirk Cignetti. Yeah. Y'all may love me or hate me, but I'm going to die with this whistle in my mouth.
Is she dead?
I really do not know. That's it. I don't know if she died with a marker in her hand. I guess yes.
Why leave is what the Russo says. So, yes. Michigan, Kyle Whittingham, the 2030. I am of the belief that it is a stopgap, quick quick fix.
I don't think he
one
would
or
do
2
that.
years.
I think he probably behind the scenes gave them a commitment for 5 years. I think he will uphold that. I think he's a hell of a coach. I think he will be at Michigan for 5 years.
Yeah, I think he'll be successful enough to keep that job 5 years. I'd take Whittingham there.
He does not. He has Bob Chesney, Ralph Russo does, of UCLA. He says, of all the jobs, this is the hardest call on the board on who fits there and how long Whittingham will keep the job.
Well, that's putting a lot of faith in Chesney being successful at UCLA. Which
I mean, you're looking obviously for the next Kurt Signetti, coming from JMU and a former assistant. I would say this, though. Michigan was 7-2 in the Big Ten when you had a head coach that looked lost at times and he was banging a staffer. And all the things he had going on, my God, like Kyle Whittingham should be able to walk right in there.
He's
and by the
remotely
way,
focused.
Yeah, you had a quarterback in Bryce Underwood coming up on 4 downs that, was learning the game, the ups and downs of a true freshman quarterback, and you still go 7-2 with 9 wins. I think Whittingham's going to pick it right up and take off with it.
Ohio State, Ryan Day.
I'll say he's still there. Ryan Day for a long time liked to talk about how difficult that job was and how tough he had it. And then since he's won a national championship, I feel like we've heard less of that from Ryan Day. So I'm going to say he'll find happiness and stay there.
The only problem is, and I don't know how he feels about ungrateful people are terrible. And that fan base, I mean, they were pretty ungrateful, right? They wanted to fire him when he got to a college football playoff.
And he used to tell you that a lot.
Yeah.
He used to take time to tell us that.
So I think he's filed that away, and he might win another championship or two. But it wouldn't be surprising to me if he takes off for the NFL. I will say he's there because it is the best job in college football, but I don't feel great about it.
Well, I don't think a lot of people call it the best job in college football like you just did. I agree with you. I mean, it's the most consistent job in college football.
What do you not have that you would want?
Woody Hayes lasted 28 years. It ended in 1978. John Cooper's the only coach that made it to 13 years since then because of the pressure of the job or the lack of success. He says Day knocks out a second national title and then gives the NFL a shot. His replacement in 2030, by 2030, is James Laurinaitis, the Ohio State linebackers coach now.
I would say Brian Hartline would be more in line for that job.
If he has any success at South Florida, you would think.
And I think they would rather have offense.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oregon, Dan Lanning.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You guys talked about Rhett Lashley coaching in front of 50,000. Austin's, 64,000?
Yeah.
So does Lanning long for the days where you're in the Roman Coliseum with 100,000 plus?
You can't see out of the stadium.
Going nuts. I don't know. If I'm Lanning, do something that has never been done there before. I'm not going to be surprised if he does it this year. And I've been on his ass for not winning a lot of these big games, but I think he is really close. He is on the ledge of taking them over the top and doing special things there. So
not
I think
holding
he's
it to you, not holding you to it. But earlier it was this month. I
said Oregon and Notre Dame.
Said Oregon or Notre Dame is the national champion.
Yeah.
I think
I'm on Notre Dame, and I get the feeling you're on Oregon because of Dante Moore.
I think he came back for a reason.
I think the only thing a lot of people think will get him out of Oregon is his desire to coach in the SEC, and I don't even know if that exists. I don't know if Dan Lanning sits around and thinks, God, one day I want to be back in the SEC.
You guys tell me this real quick. How many jobs in the SEC are clear-cut better than Oregon? I mean, Georgia, Alabama.
Well, I love
LSU.
I would say LSU. I love Alabama. I love Georgia. People tell me LSU. Ralph Russo says Lanning might have the best job in the country. Good luck getting him out of Eugene.
Well, if it's that, I would have said Texas in that group too.
I've heard that he has some equity in Nike. You hear different things. I don't know what's what, but I would say those 3 jobs are still better than Oregon.
Yeah, Penn State, Matt Campbell, 2030.
Ooh,
4 years. I don't think he's going to be bad enough in 4 years. They punt him. So, I think they've historically been pretty patient with coaches. I mean, Paterno obviously had success, was there for a long time. Bill O'Brien had an impossible situation, but they were pretty. Franklin had success, but they continued to stick with him until the bitter end when he couldn't win those big games.
But wouldn't you say this year was as big of a disaster as they'll allow? Obviously,
probably.
And they were 7-6. I don't think a lot of people realize at the end of the day they were 7-6 when all the dust cleared. I will say he's there. I think he's a good coach, but is it one of those situations where he's one of those guys that gets more out of the 3 stars and coaches them up?
That's right.
And when he gets a premier program, how does it work out? I will say it will work out.
The Athletic says this one sure feels like it should work out on both sides, but the naysayers say that what did he win at Iowa State? He won a lot of games. Did he ever win anything? Never won a championship, did he?
We did not, but Iowa State's never done that, and he at least played for one.
But, yeah, I mean, he coached against Arizona State 2 years ago to go to the college football playoff. Arizona State made a little noise when they got there, and then the other time he did it was against Oklahoma, a team that got to the college football playoff. So, just getting to 10 wins and being in that game at Iowa State says enough for me.
Yeah, you got to let a naysayer know if you're him.
2030, UCLA, PJ Fleck. USC with Lincoln Riley at Texas Tech. USC in 2030. Who's coaching the Trojans?
2030.
Cliff Kingsbury.
No.
Your team just hired him.
I know.
Yeah, the Rams hired him. He's going to be right there in the city.
Offensive. I love the hire.
Yeah.
Don't want him as a head coach.
No, I'm just saying. That's why I'm saying it. He's right there with the Rams.
Lynn, back from Penn State. Go defense like Pete Carroll.
I think actually they have him taking the Maryland job.
Dan
maybe.
Lynn?
Yeah.
Oof.
Don't tell me Jed Fish.
Nope. Again, Russo does all this work at the Athletic, including athletic directors and such. Anybody know who the athletic director is at Washington? What her name is?
I do not know.
It's not. It's not. I actually had a beer with him a couple of weeks ago. Pat Chun.
It's now a female.
At USC,
Washington.
not at Washington.
At USC. That's right. That's right. At USC. She left to open up Chun. She was the person that hired Kalen DeBoer.
Barbara Hedges.
Kalen DeBoer, head coach at USC by 2030.
Oh, we're going to have an Alabama opening then.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'll take that.
2 seasons into DeBoer's time at Alabama certainly hasn't been bad, but it hasn't quite clicked yet. If Jen Cohen is still USC's AD, when or if the Trojan job opens up, expect number 1 on her list to be Kalen DeBoer.
I said Barbara Hedges is the one that fired Neuheisel 30 years ago. I meant Jen Cohen. Because our man Brock Heward was able to get me tickets this year through Jen Cohen. So.
Kalani Sitake to Washington.
Oh, that'd be an interesting hire.
Yeah, I like Sitake a lot. You saw he was on Klatt's list of top 10 coaches.
Yeah, I think he's a good coach, and it would be interesting to open up that Samoan recruiting connection at Washington. Yeah, I mean, they've had – Tuiasosopo brothers played there. I mean, they've had a little bit of that already.
They do. But, I would ask you guys this. Sitake, playing right now at his alma mater, BYU has got a lot of money that is kind of untapped. Do you think he seems like a very loyal guy?
Yeah.
Would you? I mean, Washington's a better job, but
it would take, and we don't, it's a better job historically, but if we start history 3, 4, 5 years ago with this NIL, maybe BYU's a better job than Washington. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think BYU has a lot of resources. We'll see. The replacement at Alabama, according to The Athletic, and all the SEC jobs, after we remind you of the show being brought to you today by our friends at Central State Bank. Forrester's going to love the next one we do, by the way.
Oh, boy. Central State Bank. I can't wait. It is the bank that is big enough to meet every need you have, but they are also small enough to know you. That's what sets them apart. A community bank you can trust. Why do you trust them? Because they're right there in your community. You know them. You work with them every single day at Central State Bank. For more than 100 years, they have served Central Alabama, counties like Shelby County, Tallapoosa County, all of Central Alabama, with local decisions and personal service that feels like home. So whether you are starting a business, buying a car, or planning for tomorrow, Central State Bank with you every step of the way. Central State Bank is rooted in community, driven by relationships, and is a member of the FDIC.
Okay, so what we're doing, Ralph Russo has done a lot of legwork. 2030, who's coaching every power team in college football going into the 2030 season. We've done some highlights. We're going to do every SEC opening. The projection from Russo is Kalen DeBoer is USC's head coach by then. So who's at Alabama?
You said Forrester's going to love it.
Forrester's going to hate it.
Oh, he's going to hate it, which means it's a bad soundbite.
John Sumrall, Florida head coach. Debatable on if Florida is a better if Alabama's a better job than Florida in the current state of college football. Maybe, maybe not. But we do love SEC coaching drama. John Sumrall to Alabama.
Here's what I would ask you guys. What would Sumrall have to do at Florida for Alabama to be interested?
That is just threading such a needle is your point, because he probably would have to coach for or win a national championship at Florida, in which case, why leave Florida?
I.e. Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah,
now,
which you could see leaving Washington,
But, and the opportunity that Florida gave him to come from Tulane, I just think a lot of these guys are kind of loyal to that.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would leave.
You'd have to thread a needle of being just successful enough to get the job, but not so successful that you're like, why would I leave here? I mean, that is That is a difficult needle to thread there.
Ryan Silverfield out at Arkansas. Jerry Mack, Kennesaw State. And Alex Golesh at Auburn.
4 years?
He'll be there.
He'll be there.
Yep, he'll be there. Golesh is Auburn's third coach since they fired Gus Malzahn. The odds alone suggest this hire will work out better than the last two. With John Sumrall out at Florida, Jed Fish finally gets the job. Fish at Florida.
Yeah, Fish wants a job.
The infatuation with this guy, though, is wild to me. Jed Fish.
Yeah, I have heard that he has, what was the quote, 33 dream jobs?
Fish does?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
he's a dreamer.
33 dream jobs. Florida and the NFL.
In the NFL.
Oh, okay. I like
good.
that. I like that. Okay. That makes sense. Kirby Smart, 2030.
I could see Kirby retiring by then, and again, the line starts at the door for the Georgia job if Kirby retires.
What was it? The summer of 22, we were in Atlanta for SEC Media Days. And at that point, I think we all talked about, like, Kirby seems to be kind of fed up where this thing is heading.
Yeah, how much has it changed since then?
Yeah, I don't think he wants to go out. I think he wants another national championship. Like, if he was to win one in the next couple of years, I could see him shut it down before 2030.
Yeah, it's almost right now we're questioning whether Kirby Smart can do it in this era of college football.
Right.
Yeah, which seems unfair. I could just see him getting tired of it and retiring.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin at LSU, 2030.
Oh, does he have Kirby staying, by the way?
He has Kirby staying.
Yeah, I would say Lane's still at LSU.
Lane will be there.
Lane's still there. Charles Huff of Memphis is the new coach at Mississippi State by 2030 for Jeff Lebby. Blake Baker who's the current LSU defensive coordinator, is the head coach at Missouri.
Wow, he's got Eli out.
By 2030. Eli is the head coach at Oklahoma by 2030, replacing Brent Venables.
Wow.
Right over the border.
Well, they'll go offense.
Yeah. Brent Venables, by the way, is coaching Oklahoma State in 2030, according to Ralph Russo.
This is when Ralph's gummy kicked in, right? Yeah. you think Oklahoma State's going to take him off the trash heap?
Pete Golding. Pete Golding at Ole Miss.
No chance.
4 years? No, I'll say he's there for 4 years.
We love Pete Golding.
I love Pete, but I'll say he's there. I think the problem now for Pete is Ole Miss fans believe they belong, and they're coming off the best season by far in their history. They're going to compare everything that Lane Kiffin does. We should be doing that. Ole Miss is not LSU. I think the expectations are way too unrealistic right now for Pete Golding.
Charlie Weiss Jr.
Oh, okay.
By 2030.
So
I think I think Ole Miss fans will remember him, though.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah. And if Kiffin goes and tears it up at LSU offensively.
Shane Beamer, South Carolina.
No, there's no chance.
No chance.
No chance.
Glenn Schumann, who I've always liked, Georgia defensive coordinator, head coach at South Carolina. With Josh Heupel out at Tennessee.
Peyton Manning.
That's the gummy really kicking in. Will Stein, Kentucky.
Boy,
Kentucky to Tennessee.
So he's got Missouri's coach going to Oklahoma, Kentucky's coach going to Tennessee.
And Florida's coach going to Alabama.
Florida's coach going to Alabama.
With Will Stein out at Kentucky, Brian Hartline from USF to Kentucky.
Oof.
Yeah, but
boy, Hartline, man.
Yeah, if Hartline in 2030 has got the Kentucky job, he's making a lot of money, but he's like, damn, what have I done wrong?
Yeah, hang tight at South Florida, Brian.
By the way, that's two really good hires by Kentucky. Kentucky's job's already sexy.
Yeah.
Sark at Texas.
I'll say he's still there.
Man, so if he's still there, he's won a national championship. If he hasn't won a national championship, he's not there.
Fair enough.
I am going to say Sark is not there.
He says Sark will be there. Obviously, these are projections, not crystal. I always say them like it. No, you're wrong. Yeah. Sark's still there. He thinks Sark will still be there.
Do you agree, though? If he doesn't win a national championship by then, he's gone?
Yeah. I think he would be.
Or I could see him taking an NFL job.
I mean, I just think Brian Kelly, what we saw after averaging 10 wins, getting blown out in the middle of the year, and look, there were different circumstances, but I think Texas fans would be so fed up by that point.
Clark Lee still at Vandy. Mike Elko is the coach at Notre Dame. Eric Morris is the coach at Texas A&M.
Okay. Well, so he did come back to the state of Texas. I was just a little wrong on that. Let me ask you, though, Elko leaving, and he was a defense coordinator there for 1 year, did a hell of a job. But do you leave A&M to go to Notre Dame?
That was another one like Summerall going to Alabama. Like if you've had enough success at A&M to get the Notre Dame job, why not just stay at A&M?
Well, and what are you going to do at Notre Dame that hasn't been done? Like A&M, I mean, those fans, weirdos, but passionate.
Yeah. Russo says Elko likes it there, but this will probably come down to the choice between Elko or Clark Lee. Now, Lee at Vandy, you ought to obviously take Notre Dame.
Yep.
And as you've always pointed out, if he had just stayed and not taken the Vandy job, he probably would be.
That's right. He'd be Marcus Freeman right now.
He'd be the Notre Dame coach.
I think Elko by 2030 is going to resemble Mark Mangino.
Yeah, he is on the plan.
I watched the DTF St. Louis episode 2.
I did too.
And that's all I can think of is looking at David Harbour, and I'm like, Elko is on this projection, but he's not going to need a prosthetic belly. By the way, too many brains, too many pork and beans in that show right now for me.
Yeah, do you want a little sticky note here to make a projection on who the murderer
I've got
is?
Dunaway's. I've got Dunaway's projection.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the way it turned last night, it seems pretty obvious.
But it's too obvious.
But I'm just going to say this. It's a character we have not been introduced to yet, if that's possible.
I think the character has appeared on the screen. But
yeah.
Okay.
But there hasn't been a deep dive. It can't be one of the two obvious characters. But do you agree too much pork and beans on there?
Yeah, you are getting twigs and berries. Yeah. Usually in the form of a photo. Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm like, how many times are we going to show this photo?
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't start that show.
No,
I just put it on
it's
the
really
menu and
good.
said,
Like,
if y'all want it.
It's more in it's almost like Greek statue-esque. There's no
well, and there is a point
there's
to
no
it.
firmness to the pictures.
Yeah, like you saw it last week, and then they bring it back, and you're like, why are we doing this again? But then there's a point to it. Now, if they bring it back and bring it back and back and back again, then I'm going to be like, damn, why?
But it's that picture is the whole premise of my of my projection is all off of that picture.
But did you assume that picture last week was what it was?
Yes,
Okay,
I remember I gave it last week.
Yeah, I've not looked at it, but it's stored away. I've got it.
Because remember, face was scratched out. I really didn't
that's
think
who I
about
thought it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good job.
And so that's why I'm still there.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm all in. I mean, it's pretty fascinating.
It's well acted.
Oh, I mean,
well
Bateman's
acted.
great.
Bateman's terrific.
Linda Cardinelli never gets the credit she deserves, and David Harbour seems really comfortable going from character actor to now being one of the main guys.
Yep. Well acted. I even like the two detectives and their yin and yang they have going on. The old guy's just like
Richard Jenkins.
I wonder how much the legal system really is that way. He's just he's got in his head the way the theory is, he's trying to collect all the evidence to support his theory. He's like,
Flirting with Disaster is one of the more underrated comedies that came out 20 years ago with Ben Stiller and Patricia Arquette. But Richard Jenkins and Josh Brolin are a big part of that. Richard Jenkins is great. You guys would absolutely hate the movie The Shape of Water. Did you ever see it?
Oh, yeah, that's Guillermo del Toro. He wanted to make a Creature from the Black Lagoon movie, and
I loved it. But
they
Richard
never
Jenkins
greenlit it,
as
so
her
he made
neighbor
that.
as her neighbor was great. I mean, he is a fantastic actor.
More of the viewing menu right now brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson, and we'll get into what Tyler has on store and tell you about the next reel, episode 2, about to be recorded today.
I cannot wait. I get to see our friends at Michelson Laser Vision coming up in a couple of days. Just fantastic people. I've known them for more than 2 decades now. I went to see Dr. Mort Michelson back in 2003. Had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Got the procedure done, only took 12 minutes for both eyes, 2015 vision, better than 2020. I've still got it. Dr. Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. When you make the phone call that I made, ask for Amy. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. Very important. Mention the next round. They will take care of you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
All right, so on Max, we've got a brand new documentary on the Fukushima nuclear meltdown called Fukushima, A Nuclear Nightmare. It reconstructs the 9 harrowing days following the disaster in forensic, real-time detail, from the control room engineers fighting to prevent a total meltdown to the political leaders confronting the unthinkable, to ordinary citizens caught in the fallout. At the heart of the story are the power plant workers who were tasked with averting a major catastrophe. It was potentially a suicide mission commanded by Japan's prime minister. Navigating days of isolation and terror, these plant workers, who would later be known as the courageous Fukushima 50, recount the mounting pressures they faced as they entered the darkened reactors to try to avert the worst outcome.
Yeah, I mean, they were heroes because they knew they weren't going to survive.
Yep.
So that feels pretty dark right there.
Yeah, there was an earthquake, and that damaged like the cooling portion of the nuclear reactor, so it just kept overheating. Hulu has added this to its catalog. Ready or Not, the sequel comes out next week, so I'm going to revisit this one. Grace couldn't be happier after she marries the man of her dreams at his family's luxurious estate. There's just one catch. She must now hide from midnight until dawn while her new in-laws hunt her down with guns, crossbows, and other weapons. As Grace desperately tries to survive the night, she soon finds a way to turn the tables on her not-so-lovable relatives. And it stars Samara Weaving, Andy McDowell, and it's directed by the team called Radio Silence, who did Scream 5 and 6, some of the VHS movies, and Abigail that came out last year about the ballerina vampire.
Yeah, you like these horror things. Did you ever watch, was it Article 81 on Netflix?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. Isn't it based on like some true tapes about like some supernatural stuff in New York?
I don't know. There's a similar movie called the Poughkeepsie Tapes that people really like, but I don't like that one as much. And then finally on viewing menu, 7 p.m. on the AMC channel, Trading Places. I think this movie is really solid.
Oh, really
Dan
good.
Aykroyd
Oh,
and
yeah,
Eddie
it's a funny
Murphy.
movie, yeah.
One of my
And
favorites.
Jamie
yeah.
Lee Curtis.
Would be on my top 50 list.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a funny flick.
Yeah, I've always loved that movie.
I always laugh when I see pork belly on a menu now. They mess with the pork belly market.
Yeah, I never understood the market, still don't today.
I still don't either.
When they're talking all that stuff, I'm like, why do I care about oranges? Oranges have that big of an influence on the economy? All right, that's what Tyler's watching, brought to you by our friends at Michelson. Brownie, take us a break with Bojangles. When we come back, by the way, bubble news involving Auburn last night, or at least if you're projecting out, not great news. We'll tell you why. Bojangles, always great.
It is. That Bojangler is back right now with Bojangles. That Alaskan pollock fish fillet with Bo's seasoning. The deluxe comes with lettuce, pickle, tomato, tartar sauce, and cheese. Available for a limited time at Bojangles. You can also start your day getting up threes. A triple double biscuit with triple the protein, bacon, sausage, and egg. Double the cheese, all on Bojangles scratch-made biscuits. And any biscuit and any breakfast you get right there at Bojangles, like those ham biscuits, 2 for $5 right now, can be enjoyed with a brand new iced coffee at your local Bojangles. Also, you can finish any meal with that strawberry cobbler just the way you should at your local Bojangles, where you can always make it Bo time.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. from day one, Xerox Business Solutions. They've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Birmingham's fastest party returns to Barber Motorsports Park March 27th through 29th. Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by AmFirst Experience. 3 days of high-speed action featuring the fastest drivers in the world from the IndyCar Series. Enjoy the Kids Zone, food trucks, beer garden, fan zone, and more. The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Back with you on the Next Round as we roll on here. Before we jump into basketball and get to Clay Travis, some big football discussions still to come later in the show as well. Plus, in the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about the bracket challenge on how you want to see us punished for being horrible at the bracket this year. Brown's got a list of about 10 right now, but in the chat room, if you will, please, any bracket challenge suggestions you may have.
Yeah, and don't assume I saw yours yesterday. If you threw one in yesterday when we talked about this, fire it in again. Don't assume I saw it.
That is code for Brown. Did not see a lot of them yesterday.
Well, we've got a show going.
And so throw that in there real quick. So any bracket challenge that you may have heard other people doing or that I've always wanted us to do, throw it out there, and we'll see if we can punish ourselves for being horrible at picking the bracket this year, or the two non-winners, just have the winner survive if we end up doing it that way again this year. Our friends at Way to Wellness jumps us into the basketball conversation, your opportunity to jumpstart your weight loss or to improve your diet with Leslie and her board-certified team. Their website is aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. There's no contract, no sign-up fee, and your first consultation is free, so you get a little lay of the land without any money coming out of your pocket. Planforme.com for more details. Everything from injection therapy to meal replacements. I use these protein bars to keep from bad snacking. It works for me. It works for a lot of people that we know up here, a lot of people and viewers in our chat room. So check it out for yourself and see if it works for you. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. All right, let's go Troy first. Winning the championship last night. Comfortable win over Georgia Southern, who was trying to win their sixth game in 6 days, no legs, and Troy wins it. They get the celebration afterwards where they bring out the young man. What's his name, Forrester? You sort of know the little kid.
I don't know the kid, but I know his dad went to high school with him. This is Adam Prendergast's little boy, Noah.
So little Noah sticks it on there. They've been letting him stick the logo on there, and they're on their way to Luke Carl threw the knife through the shirt right there. Troy wins it. They move on. Tyler, if you'll give me cut number 3, Thomas Dowd, their big player, said they felt the disrespect around the country yesterday. Listen in.
I think just, something I was telling to the guys before we even stepped on the court is, obviously kudos to Georgia Southern. Like, it's amazing that they were playing their sixth game in 6 days. But like every time you looked on social media, and Coach Cross told us too yesterday, like every time you looked on social media, anytime you looked at anything, everyone wanted them to win, and like everyone thought they were going to win. Like I didn't see anyone talking about us. Like we won the regular season championship. We were the best team in the league all year, and we felt kind of disrespected. And I think, you know, just having that chip on our shoulder throughout the whole game really fueled all of us.
You were playing a 10 seed.
I mean,
Mr. Dowd, I don't want to say, come on, man, but I even told Brown, and we both won yesterday. I don't know if you did on Kalshi or not. We took positions on Troy. I don't care who you were playing. They were playing their 6th game in 6 days.
Yeah.
You were playing your 2nd in 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, people love great stories. So not knowing anything about Troy and Georgia Southern based on the fact that they were trying to win 6-6, I think people probably were pulling for them. But I mean, how active do you think people on Twitter were talking about this championship game? Yeah. I don't think they were. What do you think Troy will be seeded? 14?
Well, that's what Scott Cross talks right here. I think that's a good place. They're going to be 13 or 14. Here's Scott Cross, whose name's being mentioned for jobs like Georgia Tech and others. There'll be a ton of openings this year. He's gone back-to-back years for championships in the Sun Belt for Troy, and he talks about winning down in Pensacola and what's next.
I would much rather be an underdog. I've been an underdog my whole life. I think both these guys have been underdogs. We're better when we're underdogs, so we're just going to go out there and fight and claw. And, you're playing with house money, and, when we're shooting the ball really well, we'll be tough to beat. So we'll just have that chip on our shoulder.
Boy,
Damn, he's full of life. What a personality that guy is.
So first off, did you expect him to sound like that?
No, I did not actually.
Wow.
Yeah, that one surprised me a little bit.
Boy, he's got these guys sold on being disrespected, doesn't he?
Yeah, he going heavy favorites to win that tournament. Now they'll be a big underdog. I think 13 or 14.
Okay, Joe Lunardi has them. I'll see when Joe did this bracket probably a week ago.
There's a new one out, a one-sheeter out today.
Well, this was an updated bracket last night. He's got the actual bracket. He has them in the 14 slot in Greenville, South Carolina, playing 3 seed
Alabama.
Crimson Tide.
Troy and Alabama.
I think Alabama would take that matchup.
In Greenville, South Carolina.
In Greenville, South Carolina.
Don't tell that to Dowd.
And they would, in fact, be an underdog in that game. We're right where they want to be.
They would be. There's their celebration on the court last
I was going to see where Palm had them just to I know you love Jerry Palm, Jen.
One of my favorites right there.
Also a 14 seed playing 3 seed Purdue in the South bracket.
Just for reference, Dan, they did take they beat San Diego State 108-107. So, I mean, they can get after you scoring.
Remember, during that, they were on a West Coast tour.
They lost to SC by a point when SC was whole.
And we followed them. We mentioned their scores during that trip out west. So they beat San Diego State, who's pretty dang good, and USC, who's on the wrong side of the bubble now. But back then, they only lost by 1 to them.
No, they lost by 1 to SC, and they beat San Diego State by. So just real quick, 103 against Kent State, 121 against Pensacola Christian, 108 against San Diego State, 106 against USC. They beat UAB earlier this year. Yeah. Scored 100 on Texas State.
That guy's done a really good job there.
You can't put this total high enough if they play Bama.
Oh, yeah, if they play Bama.
I mean, you really can.
Up and down the floor.
Tell us. Go ahead.
No, just quickly, I was just going to say, I just hope, I don't know if Georgia Tech's a good job anymore. I hope he doesn't jump at a bad job.
He'll jump at that.
I mean, Brown, Troy to Georgia Tech. I mean, one's in the ACC, and can you win 3 in a row at Troy?
Now if you're comfortable getting a buyout in 3 or 4 years, do it.
Now, I don't know if Georgia Tech's athletic director falls asleep before he signs the contract.
You're holding this guy, man. You've heard one soundbite.
Kalshi, and then we'll talk some more basketball here, including the latest one-sheeter from Lunardi after what I assume is bad news for Auburn on the bubble last night. Kalshi, you can take a position on them like Brown and I did on Troy last night.
Yes. Look, how to trade using Kalshi now that it's legally available in all 50 states. On the next reel, we'll be getting into Best Picture nominees, and I've got some odds from our friends at Kalshi. So we'll try to tell you where you should take your position at Kalshi on that, because not only sports, politics, but also pop culture, you can take positions here. Most important thing is download Kalshi, put in that code TNR Brown, get $10 when you trade $10 from our friends at Kalshi.
You can even play futures like the SEC Conference Tournament Champion. All right, conference tournament hasn't even tipped yet. You can play conference tournament champion in the SEC. 57%. Who do you guys think is 57% to win the SEC tournament?
Florida.
Florida is the correct answer.
That's a little low,
not a big enough pie right there.
Who do you think second?
I mean, Alabama's the 2 seed. Probably Bama, the way they're playing.
I mentioned it to Dane Bradshaw earlier this week. I think it's Arkansas.
Woo Pig Suey at 14%, Bama at 10%. Scott showing you those right there. You can play that at Kalshi, and everything you play at Kalshi, use code TNR when you download the Kalshi app and get $10 on your first $10 position. With our friends at Kalshi, Kalshi.com or the Kalshi app, code TNR.
No surprise anywhere. Todd Golden's the SEC Coach of the Year. Darius Acups, the Freshman and Player of the Year. LeBaron Philon also made the first team from the SEC Awards yesterday. Bad news for Auburn on the bubble because Santa Clara won last night. Here's their celebration. That gets them into tonight's championship game against Gonzaga, but they beat St. Mary's, another tournament team, and Lunardi's new one-sheeter has Santa Clara now the last 4 byes, which pushed UCF down into the last 4 in, which pushes Auburn now out of the tournament. First team out is Auburn now as we head to Nashville. Indiana actually jumped Auburn there. I don't know if there were some metrics that caused that, but that's the kind of bubble-licious stuff Auburn's got to deal with over the next few days. If somebody on that bubble has a big win like Santa Clara, that likely locks in 3 WCC teams.
Wow.
Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and Santa Clara, because Gonzaga and St. Mary's are definitely in.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the crazy things. Say what you want. We always take a crap on that conference, but 29 consecutive conference final championship appearances for Gonzaga.
That's pretty crazy.
I mean, that really is. And, it's going to be hectic and nerve-wracking for Stephen Pearl this week in Nashville because not only do you have to go up there and you got to win games, but you're also got a scoreboard watch. I mean, like the MAC, I think now people believe if Miami of Ohio does lose a game, they're still going to get in. So there's going to be another bid that will be stolen there.
And that's what I was going to point out. If you're on the bubble, the one thing you do not want to see is the West Coast Conference getting 3 teams and the MAC getting 2.
That's right.
Because that's generally 3 spots. Some years, that's 3 extra spots for those 2 conferences combined. So that's not what you want to see. And look, St. Mary's they're projected as like a 7 or 8 seed. So they're easily in even after that loss.
And if you'll notice, Alabama now up to a 10. So they're on the 3 line and by 2 spots behind them, Nebraska and Gonzaga on the 3 line. They're only, really, that's the separation for a lot of people in the country. Duke, Michigan, Arizona, Florida, UConn, Houston, Michigan State, Illinois, Iowa State. And a lot of people say that's the break right there. Those 9 teams are sort of the national championship contenders, and then after that are the trying to make the Elite Eights and the Final Fours.
Yeah, it could be a nice day for Auburn though, because Stanford's got a difficult game earlier today, or a little bit 1 o'clock today against Pittsburgh. They're a 5.5-point favorite, but Virginia Tech's only 2.5 over Wake Forest.
Yeah,
but you go in and get those with losses there. Both of those are completely
at least clean out behind you is what you're saying.
At least around you. Just worry about UCF, VCU, SMU, and Indiana. All right, one wonderful soundbite here before we get to the top of the hour and talk to Clay Travis. I want to tell you about our friends at Talladega Super Speedway. We got a lot of fun happening in our area in the springtime, and none more exciting than the wall-to-wall racing of NASCAR at the world's fastest speedway. It's race weekend for the Jack Links 500, April the 24th through the 26th. Big races on Sunday the 26th, the Jack Links 500. But you also get the ARCA Menard Series race, the Manufactured Housing 200, and the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race, the Ag Pro 300 doubleheader on Saturday, and all the fun all weekend long. Buy your tickets right now. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, or 877-GO-TO-DEGA for the Jack Links 500 right there at Talladega, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Cut 5, Tyler, if you will. I don't know if Bryan Hodgson is going to be one and done at USF to another one of these jobs that are opening up, but his name is hot on the circuit. Arkansas State, he has won the regular season and the American, should be in the NCAA tournament if they handle business here in Birmingham. Bryan Hodgson on my one of my favorite watches, the Field of 68 podcast last night. And here's Coach Hodgson talking about, being where he is in college basketball and some of the bigger schools maybe coming to try to slip in and start talking about pulling his players off of his roster. Listen to the big man, the guy who is part of the invention of the hard hat for Nate Oates.
We do a good job with our guys, and I've got a very close relationship with them. So any of these clowns out here that think they're gonna reach out to my guys before the season ends and start sending the DMs and having the third party, I will find you. I'm not like the rest of these college basketball coaches. We will have a face-to-face conversation. I can promise you that.
We're clipping. Hold on, Goodman. Wait, you know we're clipping this. We're going to put this out there for everybody to see.
No, I want it out there because there's some real clowns out there, and it may work with other people. It doesn't work with me. We're all going to be in Indianapolis. I will find you, and we should I repeat? What's the movie with Liam Neeson? Taken. I've got a particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for people.
Hodgson,
like you.
hold on, man.
I do think he's a man that can handle himself.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Hey, I've talked to him several times. The man can back it up.
Yeah, would not surprise me at all if he is very, very serious about that.
Hey, and by the way, he would stand right here on the scale of intimidating, and Mick Cronin, if they went face to face right here.
Oh, I'd love to see that fight.
Yeah, I like that guy a lot. And if I'm an AD, I'm hiring him in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's going to, right?
Yep.
I mean, he's...
Like, if Nate ever jumps to the NBA.
First name.
That has got to be I don't care where he's coaching, that's got to be Greg Burns' first call.
Yeah, I think it absolutely would be, because I think on the way out the door, Nate would say, if you want to keep this going, there's the guy you hire.
Because I really do think he helped lay the Preston Murphy and him, the recruiting, but Murphy does a great job recruiting. Hodgson, I think, helped lay the fabric of what Alabama has become under Nate Oates. So
yeah.
Those two guys both really, really tremendous what they do.
Your guy, Lunardi, has them in a 5-12 against Arkansas. That'd be an interesting little game.
It's a bad draw for them.
That'd be a tough one against Arkansas, but a 5-12 against Arkansas would be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get to an 11 and give me an 11-6 on UCF.
Well, that would be, according to Lunardi, that'd be Wisconsin.
Yeah, see, they couldn't be that because they're an automatic bid. So maybe they got to be a...
Wisconsin's dangerous, too.
They'd have to get all the way to a 10.
I don't think they can climb that high,
Yeah,
can
me
they?
either. That's a shame. I don't want them in a matchup with Arkansas there. They need somebody different than Arkansas, because Arkansas can run you out of the gym. All right, so that's basketball last night on the bubble. Clay Travis is coming up. Show being brought to you by a couple of great sponsors. One of them is our friends at Odie's, where tomorrow night you guys continue a tradition unlike any other.
Yes, Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night. We start up a little after 8 o'clock. Get there a little early. Enjoy the great food from Rodney Davis, the award-winning wings, delicious burgers, fantastic sandwiches like that Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Both locations, live music every Friday and Saturday. The newest location right there in Edgewood and Homewood on Broadway. Stop in, see Will Haver and that great staff. It's a Birmingham institution. It's Odie's Tavern.
And we're talking basketball, and we're talking about a great excuse to kick back, relax, and enjoy the biggest games this March. Schedule your vasectomy right now at Urology Centers of Alabama and recover just in time to catch every buzzer beater from the comfort of your own couch. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the perfect excuse for a few days of relaxation. Call 205-930-0920 or visit UrologyCentersAlabama.com to book your appointment today. Urology Centers of Alabama, from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. Urology Centers of Alabama, your health, your game plan.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, Let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Looking for the ultimate weekend in Birmingham? The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix is back at Barber Motorsports Park, March 27th through 29th, bringing big energy, big crowds, and unforgettable moments. It's more than a race. It's a full day of excitement, family fun, food, music, and world-class competition, all set on one of the most beautiful venues in racing. The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix at Barber Motorsports Park. Get your tickets now.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Big breaking news involving your brackets. We'll tell you what that is in just a second. Clay Travis will join the show too. Next week, I'm going back. I got a group of friends that go play golf every year, and they go out for the March Madness as well. Golf the first day, we're out there, and then watching the brackets, watching the madness on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Is it your Bedbrook guys?
It's the guys, I play golf with all the time. They go every year. I haven't been the past couple of years because Alabama and Auburn's been so good. The forecast next week. I'm excited about this. Take a look at the Vegas forecast, where you get 98, 99, 96, 94, 92, no chance of rain. Touching 100, record heat.
I would do is be going into the window, getting tickets all day, and hanging out at that pool.
So
with just freaking just beer nonstop at the pool.
So Jennifer and I are going to Vegas the week after you're there. The week of spring break, we're going to be in Vegas. And she told me, hey, I got some bad news on the Vegas weather. I was like, oh, no. Rain? She's like, oh, there's no chance of rain, but there's highs in the high 90s. I was like, how is that bad news?
I know. I love it.
I mean, we just suffered through January and February. Give me high 90s.
When that just made it in my golf thread, and it was like they were bemoaning, oh, it's going to be so hot. I was like,
nope.
Perfect. Breaking news, Forster just passing this along to me. Duke starting point guard Caleb Foster. Duke's starting point guard Caleb Foster suffered a fractured foot versus North Carolina, has undergone surgery on Sunday. That according to John Shire, he's made that announcement. Forster, you tell me what? To get him back, they'd have to make it at least to the Final Four. Is that correct?
I have not listened to the press conference, but there are quotes that say they would probably have to reach the Final Four to get him back.
Yeah, I mean, it's called a deep run, and to me, a deep run is that third weekend.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're talking about a guy that's been in the program with Shire for 3 years now. So he's an upperclassman. He's got length. He does a little bit of everything, obviously facilitating the offense. And this Duke team is arguably, we see Florida – this part of the country, I guess we see Duke everywhere, but they're as hot as anyone. Yeah. And just to throw this rhythm off, the guy you can't lose is Cameron Boozer, but at the same time, this is your facility.
This is the head of the snake, and this is just enough to give you a doubt on whether or not Duke can. A lot of people, as we said here today, if we had filled out our bracket today, the majority of people would have had Duke winning it.
Yeah, I mean, so now Michigan has lost a key guard. Now, it was a reserve, but it was one of their best outside shooters. They lost him a few weeks ago, and now Duke has. I mean, that's two teams where you look at it and you're like, is that injury enough to catch up with them?
Advantage Florida there. Bojangles gets us to Clay Travis today. Tell us about Bojangles, Brownie.
Our friends at Bojangles right now have got that Bojangler. It is that crispy Alaskan pollock filet with Bo's seasoning. The deluxe comes with lettuce, pickle, tomato, cheese, and tartar sauce. You can start your day getting up threes with that triple-double biscuit. Double the cheese, triple the protein with bacon, sausage, and egg, all on the scratch-made Bojangles biscuit. Just like all their breakfast biscuits come on that scratch-made biscuit, like the ham biscuits, 2 for $5. You can try it all with their brand-new iced coffee and cap it off with that strawberry cobbler right now with our friends at Bojangles, where it is always bow time. Clay Travis is with us, the founder of Outkick, at Clay Travis on social media, and he's with us on the Alexander Shinard Trial Attorneys Hotline. What is up, Clay? How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Doing great. We just were discussing the injury to the starting point guard for the Duke Blue Devils. Prior to that, Duke felt pretty inevitable. As much as you can for an NCAA tournament. I don't know if there's any team I've ever thought there's nobody that could play with them, but Duke was getting to that point where I was going to have to be heavily convinced not to have them in my championship game at least.
Yeah, look, I think Florida certainly in the SEC is playing on a different caliber, and there may be a little bit of foregone conclusion almost on the SEC basketball tournament this year, sort of an indication that a lot of teams are playing for the second spot. But I think if you look at how well Duke has been playing, I mean, Boozer he looks like a grown man to be able to come in and inside and outside, be as physical. I mean, I remember his dad, but he's a way better player at a young age than his dad was. And Carlos Boozer was a great player back in the day. And so I think Duke felt like a team that had really kind of rounded into shape. John Shire obviously has taken the baton from Coach K and actually managed to sustain things pretty well, but he needs to get a championship and kind of stamp his own version of dominance there. But I think he's done what is one of the most challenging things in sports, which is take over for one of the greatest ever. And I think at least has maintained the standard of excellence. And you can't just say, hey, this is a Larry Coker-like situation where he took over and immediately won a championship and then things faded very quickly. It's now been, 4 or 5 years since Coach K stepped down. And I think, barring this injury, that Duke was my pick to win the national championship. We'll see what happens going forward, how they play in the ACC tournament. But I would generally agree with you guys that it's, a fairly wide open tournament now because I had Duke as my favorite.
So, Clay, a bigger look on the NCAA tournament. We had on your buddy Dan Wetzel last week, and we were talking about, and we talked about it again earlier in the show with Santa Clara winning last night, that this bubble is so soft and it is so difficult to get 68 teams in. And we know it's an American tradition now to fill out brackets, and it was so clean when they implemented 64 teams in 85, and then we have these stupid play-in games. And Wetzel was telling us last week, they're talking about expanding to 72 or 76 teams, but it's not going to bring in any more money for the tournament. Why would we talk about expanding this thing and having these all-day play-ins on Tuesday and Wednesday when we can't even find a quality 68 to play in the first place?
I think because it's the same reason that college playoff for football is going to keep getting expanded. Ultimately, fans judge coaches on whether they make the tournament. You would like your coach to make a run to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four. But ultimately, if you make the tournament consistently, we know that you're going to have pretty good job security. And so I think the number of teams that are D1, I think it's like 350 of them now, has continued to expand as everybody is rising up and leaving the smaller classifications behind. And, the mid-major coaches and even the power conference coaches who are on the bubble know that they're being judged by whether they make the tournament or not. And so for self-interest, I think they want to make the tournament. I think also for the athletic directors, they're being judged on, does their basketball coach make the tournament? And so a bigger tournament, even if it's not a better result for fans, actually there's quite a bit of incentive culture in the sport itself to expand. I think commissioners, ADs, and coaches are more in favor of expanding the NCAA tournament than fans are.
I really believe us as a society, we get worse and worse at absorbing real information. We come up with our own opinions. Watching President Trump's Sports Council and the aftermath of that, people walked away, not everybody, but a lot of people on social media, reporters and stuff, I saw criticizing Nick Saban, saying that he wasn't for players being paid, and that's just the opposite. Nick Saban's in favor of that. Just because someone wants real NIL deals, real rev share, and some transfer portal guidelines, guardrails, doesn't mean you're against the players being paid. What was your biggest takeaway of President Trump's gathering of the college commissioners and some of the power brokers in college athletics?
So, one, I think that a lot of guys that are high up in government are big college sports fans and actually fairly well versed in this. Sometimes politicians fake it. I think if you look at President Trump, Governor Ron DeSantis, Marco Rubio, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, Jim Jordan, Ted Cruz, Eric Schmidt, those are all senators, congressmen. I know them all. And they're able to have a conversation as sports fans about where college athletics is. A lot of times politicians pretend to be sports fans because they think it helps them with their sort of regular guy connotations, and it only takes a couple of questions and you're like, man, these guys have no idea what they're talking about. So I think even if you were not happy with how that event went, you would have to acknowledge there was fairly decent intelligence, from the perspectives. Now, look, and I get people out there who say the government can't do anything. The last thing I want them to do is get involved in college athletics. My perspective on that would be the reason college athletics is broken right now is because there is no antitrust exemption, and every player sues almost immediately. And so you have to put the antitrust exemption in order to actually get some form of resolution on this process.
I think it was well intended, but if I am not mistaken, there were no athletes there. Do you think that is a mistake? I do. I think you need to hear their voice too, Clay.
Well, I don't think that they. No, I don't think it's a mistake. I mean, okay. I understand that it's politically. That's an easy target to say. So maybe you could say, hey, there needs to be an athlete or two there. But the athlete perspective is very different depending on what the sport is. So after the event, I told the guys, I said, hey, maybe you could have an athlete forum. But there's a very big difference between real NIL, which is Olivia Dunn, right? Olivia Dunn, the LSU gymnast, actually did NIL deals. She was getting paid by Viore and all these other different brands. She posted on her Instagram, almost every football and basketball player in America is being paid for play. They're not actually getting NIL. NIL would be, hey, we're going to go to a mall and we're going to sign autographs, or I'm going to do a local ad for a car dealership. Things like that are NIL. What exists in football and men's basketball is just straight pay for play, and that has to be rectified.
So Donald Trump doesn't shy away from bold statements, but when he says he's going to write an executive order within a week that will, quote, solve all the problems, in saving college sports, I mean, what do you think this looks like?
Well, I think it'll get challenged by judges, and they'll say that he doesn't have the authority to do it, because I think it will look very similar to the bills that they're trying to pass. And look, it depends on how deep into the weeds you want to go. I could, burrow, 20 feet underground on how complicated this issue is, but let me just put it on a surface level here. Sports is unique because the competition is the business. Right? The quality of the competition is the business. There are not very many businesses like that, right? Walmart doesn't sit around and say, boy, you know what? We've really got to compete well with Target. They want to put Target out of business. McDonald's wants to put Burger King out of business. If Alabama puts Auburn out of business, or vice versa, it actually makes the value of their brand lower, right? What people want is a high quality of competition. And so that's the business itself. How do you get that? Okay. I think you can look at sports leagues, the NFL, let's use as an example, because I think the NFL is the biggest sport in America. College football is second biggest sport in America. NFL free agency is going on right now. You guys know what happens with the NFL draft. When you get drafted in the first round, you're committed to a team for 4 years. Team has the right to pick up an option for a 5th year. That means the moment that you are drafted, when you sign that contract, the team knows that they have you for 5 years. There's no free agency. There's no worrying about what your compensation is. If you are Puka Nacua and you are, I believe, a 5th round pick and the LA Rams find you, like LT's team did, they get an incredible value for the entire 4-year rookie contract until they decide to tear it up and you get to go to free agency or you get an extension. Right now in college athletics, every single player is a free agent every year. Sometimes not even every year, every semester. That's broken. It can't continue to exist. Well, how does free agency exist in the NFL, in the NBA, in NHL? They have salary caps. They have collective bargaining agreements. How do you get that? A players' union bargains with the ownership, and what would otherwise be an antitrust exemption under a CBA gets the antitrust exemption because both sides are bargaining. You can't bargain right now with athletes. So, Brown, you asked the question, should athletes have been there? Arguably, athletes even being there is an antitrust violation because you're discussing how to put rules in place that could in some way restrict their ability to be compensated. Because the athletes are not players, you cannot negotiate with any group of them. There is no union, and therefore there is no way to get a collective bargaining agreement. So you can't put basic standards in place because individual athletes can sue and say this is restricting my rights. It's an antitrust violation. So all of that requires that we actually have an antitrust exemption. The only way you can get that, absent players forming a union, absent them becoming employees, which is illegal actually under some laws in the South. And absent that, you have to have Congress act, give an antitrust exemption, and then an organization, NCAA or otherwise, can come out and put broad parameters of what rules are and what rules should be in place. So that is really a fast-paced, deep dive on some level into the challenge that is going on right now. And that's what they're trying to rectify on Capitol Hill. I'm skeptical that a executive order from the president will have the legal standing to be able to fix the issues that I think most people acknowledge exist in college athletics.
Clay, back to the brackets. Bracket challenge is probably a little oversaturated. We try to do a unique one every year here. Dunaway 1 year lost and had to do stand-up comedy in front of the Comedy Club Stardome, a packed house.
That was fantastic.
Brown had to do Alien Fest in Roswell. I got sent to an undisclosed location out west and had to make my way back via bus, train, and rent a car. So we've done some cool stuff. I threw it out yesterday. This year's loser has to go on the Oregon Trail.
For how far?
I mean, the whole Oregon Trail.
Well, so, I mean.
We're not in a covered wagon, though.
Yeah.
We're going to be in probably a Toyota from Hoover.
Isn't that like 3,000 miles?
2,000 miles.
Yeah, it's Independence, Missouri to somewhere in Oregon, obviously. And it's if you drive straight without stopping, it's a 33-hour trip. So our thought was original challenges in each part of the trip. So maybe split it up into 4 or 5 days.
I mean, first of all, that doesn't sound like an awful vacation for somebody who's like a history nerd like me. Like I can think of worse ways to have to spend my time. But I do think that whatever the challenges are would add to the difficulty. I read a book. I don't know. It's probably been a decade ago about a guy who did a covered wagon trip on the Oregon Trail in the modern era.
Are you? I just picked up that book this weekend. Is it the same guy? His last name's Buck, 2007?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I can't imagine more people wrote.
Yeah, was it him and his brother and a Jack Russell Terrier?
Yeah.
I'm on chapter 3, man. I mean, I'm fascinated by this.
It was a pretty good read. I mean, because the complexity of being able to do this in a modern era. And obviously to what extent, those covered wagons, as you would imagine, tended to break down quite a lot. And so there's a lot of challenges associated with that. And some technology, because it's passed us by, to a large extent, does not have any current practitioners, right? So that creates its own challenges as well. The book's really good. So I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Now, one thing Brownie didn't tell you, we have to only drink water from streams and waterways, and we have to forage for our own food in the wild. We can't actually eat.
So everybody's come back with Lyme disease.
And you have to survive dysentery at least once. That's the only rule.
By the way, you should also read Undaunted Courage about the Lewis and Clark expedition, because
I've heard that's good. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the best history books I think that's ever been written.
Haven't we discussed? I don't know if with Clay, we've discussed on the show the how incredible it is nobody's made a movie about that.
Yeah, well, you said
that.
Should be it should be like, I think, more than a movie. I think it should be a streaming series. Like it took them multiple years to do the trip. I think just based on all the individual stories, you could turn this into a multi-year, story, and I think it would be, if done well, one of the most popular shows in America for sure.
I would agree. I mean, 2.5, 3-hour movie would be impossible to put all that together. But
I think that's right.
But if you did 10 episodes on about 3 or 4 seasons, you probably could do it.
Big.
Oh yeah.
Season 2, season 1 cliffhanger is they bump into Sacagawea. I can't say.
Yeah.
Sacagawea.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
And she'll be a big part of season 2. Yeah.
Hello, guys.
It's actually. I mean, the whole book is really kind of crazy. And I mean, on so many different respects. But one of the wild things is, when Thomas Jefferson sent them off on the Louisiana Purchase exploration, the Lewis and Clark expedition, he thought that they might just find woolly mammoths living in the West. Like, they had no idea, what they were stepping off into when they began that process. So the amount of new animals they found, it's really kind of an extraordinary story.
The Pacific Ocean.
Had any clue what to expect.
Wait a minute, we got a whole other ocean in this country. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, look, what they were looking for, hopefully, was they wanted something that was the sort of the golden city quest, was a river that would take you all the way from Missouri to the West Coast. I mean, they were never able to find one that you could float the whole way, but that was one of their ultimate quests.
All right, here's Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, at Clay Travis on social media. You also see him on Fox. Clay, thank you for the time.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy, take care. Clay with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Basketball already going today in college basketball. You can play the games at lanceslock.com. Lanceslock.com. Before you tell us about the lock, LT, did you happen to watch Shea Gilgeous-Alexander last night?
I was going to bring this up because I was 1-1 last night. I had a winner with Montana with the Grizzlies, but we had SGA going for 20-plus points. And what is it now, 126 games?
He 126 games, 20-plus points, tying Wilt Chamberlain. But also last night, he tied, Wilt Chamberlain, keep up with these
okay,
icons.
I'm following.
Also last night, He scored 35 points, 15 assists, no turnovers. The first time that's happened, the only other person to do that since they started keeping that stat in 1978 is LeBron James. And last night, he continued his quest to become a 30-point average scorer for the fourth straight season. The only person ever to do that is Michael Jordan. So in one night, he gets mentioned with Wilt Chamberlain, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan.
Well, the final minute, him and former MVP Nikola Jokic going back and forth on their threes, and I had OKC minus the 6, and it was just the amazing shots. But SGA, and I've said this before, he is the best player to come out under Calipari, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, but I think you're right.
But, I mean, you can't deny it where he is right now.
Yeah, unbelievable there. So he hits the three-pointer to win it. Doesn't cover the number.
No, did not, because, again, Joker hits a 3. They were up 6, and it got interesting, and it was back and forth after that. 1-on-1 last night. We've got 7 plays, all college hoops, available right now at lanceslock.com, including that free play. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, they've all come up in my house at some point or another. But it's great to have somebody you can rely on. That is Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
All right. Tonight you get Spurs and Celtics, by the way. Oklahoma City is a heavy betting favorite to win the NBA championship. 7 o'clock on NBC. The second and third best odds are the Celtics and Spurs, and they play each other tonight. So,
well, and Tatum comes back last weekend and has, they win games by, back-to-back double digits. Tatum plays well. And I think you've got in Wemby the second best player right now in the NBA behind SGA.
Yeah, so that's what you get tonight on NBC with that great theme song. By the way, you get baseball again tonight, 8 o'clock on FS1. No need to send this to Furman, but it's USA and Italy, the last 2 unbeaten teams in that pool play. The Americans beat Mexico last night 5-3. Skeens with 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. He was tremendous, and he went 4 full innings. That was a deep run this time of year for him. He looked fantastic.
Yeah, don't think if they would have let him go as long as he wanted to go, that Mexico would have been in that.
Yeah,
I
agree. Was dominant.
Yeah, he was dominant. But is he done as well? None of our top-line pitchers are going to pitch again, I don't think.
Skubal left.
Skubal left. Back. He's definitely out. Is Skeens going to pitch again?
I do not know that.
I don't know.
They are watching pitch counts and all that.
Yeah.
This is basically early spring training. I do not know that. I would imagine Skeens comes back again in the championship.
Because at some point we're going to run out of pitchers if none of our guys will go.
It's America. We never run out. Thanks to folks like Lewis and Clark.
That's true. I mean, I just don't know who we're going to keep throwing out there.
But 8 o'clock FS1 tonight, Italy.
You taking a position on the Italians?
Heavy American. They will not make the number big enough. The Americans will beat them so bad.
Good call
tonight.
by you, though. They started 2-0. That was all you predicted.
Yeah. But if somehow Italy shocks the world tonight, that likely eliminates Mexico from advancing.
And your greatest prediction on this show's history, if Italy wins tonight.
I never projected they would move on. I just thought they would win these first 2 games.
But if they beat the U.S., I mean, that's amazing by you.
All right, so when we come back, we got our 4 downs today, but yesterday was a tremendous day in the NFL. We sort of recap that and look at who's still out there that somebody could pick up. But we threw money around left and right yesterday. Some of my favorite Buccaneers have moved on to new places. We'll react to the NFL, do 4 downs in the next segment. Show being brought to you by our friends at One Man and a Toolbox. One Man and a Toolbox.
These guys do great work. I've had them at the house multiple times. Just redid my office a couple of months ago, and they came up here and redid our bourbon room, which you see on Bama and Bourbon. But One Man in the Toolbox, performing handyman services for homes, commercial properties in Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, other surrounding areas. They do regular repairs, maintenance, also offer small project renovations and updates. They've got multiple technicians with different skill sets, and they can tackle most any item in your home. Call for the free estimates. Whether you talk to Jessica or Jay, make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 205-823-2111. Mention the next round. $25 discount for the first hour of service from our friends at One Man in the Toolbox. For more information, onemaninthetoolbox.com.
And our friends at Talladega Super Speedway. It's time to go racing again, boys, as we get ready for the Jack Links 500. You can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. But as I always tell you, look into, if you can, to enhance your racing experience by buying garage tickets. That'll get you in the garage, special concessions, but the best part about that is that you get to be in the garage experience garage bay viewing areas where you can walk into the garage area and watch your favorite drivers work in their cars. The crews are working on the cars. The driver's there talking with the crew chief, trying to get the car just right for the world's fastest speedway. That is so good. You get to be part of some pre-race ceremonies, some driver question and answers, Mobile One Victory Lane, all that with a garage experience. Upgrade your tickets today. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers. To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Think about the best summer nights of your life. How many of those were in a great t-shirt? Visit nextround.store to get the perfect t-shirt for the next perfect southern night. Nextround.store. The memories are waiting.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Birmingham's fastest party returns to Barber Motorsports Park March 27th through 29th. Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by AmFirst Experience. 3 days of high-speed action featuring the fastest drivers in the world from the IndyCar Series. Enjoy the Kids Zone, food trucks, beer garden, fan zone, and more. The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets now.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
172 days away from college football. We'll get back to some college football at the start of the next hour. But we'll jump into the NFL right here before four downs. Brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club. Brownie LT, tell us about Inverness.
Brown, you going out today?
A little wet today, Lance. I don't know if you are paying attention to our local weather last night.
I loved that rain last night,
Did
by
you?
the way. Yeah.
I didn't like the wind that was with it.
We were at dinner over at a friend's house, 8 people sitting around the table, and luckily candles were, it was a pretty nice get-together.
Yeah.
Candles were lit, but right in the middle of the meal, lights go out, and it's dark in the whole house except for the candles.
that had to be nice.
Actually
ambiance.
pretty cool, yeah.
I had power loss for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I knew we were going to get rain, but I turned on to watch Skeens pitch, and Fox 6 here locally in Birmingham was already in severe weather coverage because one of those storms had a rotation in it over in West Alabama. I was like, holy crap, I didn't know it was going to be this bad.
I did have both garbage cans laid out. Yeah. Had to pick up some trash.
But that's it. We got a lot of rain, so no, I am not
so
playing
you will
today.
not be at the Inverness Country Club, and you can go by there and have a good lunch.
I may grab lunch. You never know.
Take it over because I just ate a damn really hot meat stick. I'm sweating my dick off.
It's got you, doesn't it? Inverness Country Club. I've never seen anything like this. How hot was that thing?
It was hot as hell. God almighty.
He tagged you in, Brownie.
Inverness Country Club, ICCAlabama.com. That is where you go to get more information from our friends at Inverness Country Club. Our friend Erin, you can find her contact information right there. Set up a tour. See what we already know, that Inverness Country Club has an amazing clubhouse. The food is tremendous. Resort-style pool there. Hopefully they'll be opening that soon because that means we got warm weather. Great golf course, excellent practice facility. Tennis facility is remodeling right now, so they're going to have a brand new clubhouse there as well. It's all for you right there. Great fitness center, child care if you need it. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. You need to see it for yourself. ICCAlabama.com. Get the contact information there for our friend Erin. Tell her I hear the next round talk about Inverness. I want to join where they are joined. She'll set you right up for a tour. Erin is our friend there at Inverness. Inverness Country Club, ICCAlabama.com.
Okay, so the NFL yesterday, during the show, we mentioned Malik Willis going to Miami. They end up giving him a 3-year, $67.5 million contract after he was impressive last year as a backup to Jordan Love at Green Bay. I mean, the 3-year, $67.5 million deal, they're counting on Malik doing something.
Yeah, $45 million, I believe, $47 million, something like that guaranteed. So they're on the hook for a lot of money, as they are with Tua right now, who they're going to pay a lot of money to play elsewhere. It kind of feels like Miami is trying to have one foot in the boat and one foot on the shore with this deal. They're stripping down to start over, but then you go sign, whether he's good or not. I'm not saying Malik Willis is good, but he was the top free agent quarterback. Somebody was going to sign him for this. Like Miami didn't get him because nobody else wanted him. Somebody was going to sign Malik Willis to a contract. I just feel like, I don't know. As a Miami fan, I am not excited about this because if you're going to tear it down, tear it down. Let's don't tear it down, but still try to win enough games. I mean, crap, tear it down and start over.
Yeah, I just I'm not a Malik Willis buyer. Now, if you look at his limited time, he's only had 155 attempts in his 4 years in the league, and he played well the last couple of years in Green Bay in kind of mop-up duty, and then he had to come in for Jordan Love when he got injured a couple of times, and he did play well. But when he's a full-time starter for 17 games,
yeah,
I just don't have a big expectation.
I don't either.
And it seemed like a fairly good contract. Kenneth Walker's deal was 3-year, $45 million with the Chiefs. We talked about that on the air yesterday. I mean, Walker gets 3 years, $45 million. Travis Etienne gets a 4-year, $52 million deal with the Saints. Is Etienne worth that?
I mean, there's a little more versatility from Etienne, maybe. I mean, Kenneth Walker's the hot name, obviously, because of the run they went on, and he won Super Bowl MVP. Boy, I think that's a lot of money for both of those backs, though.
We lost 2 guys from my Buccaneers. Jamel Dean, Auburn guy, leaves the Bucs. He goes to the Steelers for a 3-year, $37.75 million deal. And then Mike Evans, who had been he's a mainstay. Tampa Bay's the only team he ever played for. Thought about retiring before last year, came back for another year. Now rejuvenated, and he's going to San Francisco, 3 years, $60.4 million, ending his time in Tampa.
So
is that worth it? You got to play him twice.
Yeah,
now.
you can't like this.
No, I want it. I would love to have Mike Evans as a third option. A couple of things. First off, I don't think he's a superstitious or he doesn't believe in conspiracy theories because of this electrical substation, next to the practice facility in Santa Clara, because Mike Evans is the guy that can't stay healthy.
Yeah, that's what I told Brown. I said, I hate that he's going to play in another uniform. He's one of my favorite Bucks of all time, but I'm sort of okay with him leaving because I was tired of, is he playing? Is he hurt? Is he out? I sort of like, he's hard to stay on the field all the time lately.
Well, and I mean, going to San Francisco where, they drop like flies.
I know. That is a weird place. I had not really thought of this, but that is a weird place for him to go. They have a lot of injuries to the point that supposedly the NFL was investigating that whole power station thing.
Electromotion, radiation, force radiation, I think is what it is.
Is that one of those things where they announce they're investigating it and they hope everybody forgets they're investigating it and nothing ever comes of it? I don't know, but it is a weird spot for a guy that has struggled to stay healthy, but he's also, he's potentially one of your top 5 franchise players of all time.
Oh, for sure. He's on Mount Rushmore. He's top 4.
Warren Sapp.
Derek Brooks.
Allstott?
Nah, I'd probably go Lynch over Allstott.
I would not go Allstott.
Mark Dunn?
Lynch. See, we're helped out, but we're not going to have a quarterback.
No, there's going to be no quarterback on this list.
Tom Brady doesn't make it, even though he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he didn't do enough.
Leroy Selman.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in the discussion of the top 5 Buck of all
to
time.
Me,
he is.
To
Mike
me,
Evans
Derek
is.
Brooks is number 1.
I would agree.
I think Evans is number 2.
I would put Mike Evans number 2.
Yeah. That's he
won a lot of football games.
I'll say this. If San Francisco can stay healthy and Brock Purdy can play at his highest level, it's a big if because you got Kittle, who can't stay healthy, McCaffrey, who can't stay healthy.
None of them stay
Mike
healthy.
Evans can't stay healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we look at still who's out there, any other of these moves yesterday?
Well,
there were some offensive linemen like Tyler Lindenbaum who went to the Raiders for a 3-year, $81 million. Raiders spent a lot of money.
They overpaid, though. Like Lindenbaum is arguably, top 2-3 center, but you're paying a center $27 million?
Yep.
Like, my God, there's so many needs on that team right now, and I just felt like they overpaid there.
I saw a debate that Tua actually will start in Atlanta this year.
I think he will, too.
You think he will?
We actually debated on the show yesterday whether he was a starter or not.
Yeah,
I think that's why he went there. Like, hey, they're on the hook. You're going to give me the veterans minimum. So Atlanta's coming out of pocket.
Atlanta's paying like $1.3 million of Tua's $54 million.
So he'll go in. He will probably he won't have to press, and he feels like he can reset with the 1-year deal. And yeah, I believe that Tua will be a starter quarterback. Yeah.
What's crazy is Mafe left Seattle to go to Cincinnati, who is losing Hendrickson. Who's still out there today, right?
Yep.
Trey Hendrickson hasn't gone anywhere.
He won't budge. He wants a certain number. And
he's a big get, though.
He bought his time in Cincinnati. He believes he deserves it. And you look at a guy like Jalen Phillips, the money he got yesterday going to Carolina. The edge rusher is getting paid right now.
Yeah, so Hendricks still out there. Kirk Cousins, for what that is still out there. Tyreek Hill is still out there. Chason is still out there, the linebacker. Juwan Jennings is out there. Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray.
The guy I want, Romeo Doubs, a great third option for Green Bay.
Wide receiver Romeo Doubs is out there. I didn't know how to pronounce his last name, so that's why I didn't say it. D-O-U-B-S.
It looks like Doubs.
Doubs. So that's some of the guys still out there. Crazy time in what is called as the legal tampering stage of the.
It's got to be. You don't have enough time to be able to evaluate all these free agents, get them in, talk to them, get the deal done. So it's much like what you get now in college football with the tampering, you've always gotten it in the NFL. For my Rams, though, they basically raided Kansas City secondary, and I love it.
Yeah.
Jalen Watson, Trent McDuffie, we've got both starting cornerbacks, and you've got 3 other guys that are on rookie contracts. Well, you re-signed Cam Curl, so he's off the rookie contract now. But I think the overhaul they did in the secondary, I think the secondary is a strength now.
Oh, all right. So that's yesterday. We'll get to 4 downs here. brought to you by a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is our friends at Crane U. Tell us about Crane U, LT.
Yeah, Crane U, if you're looking to get the training you really, really need, our friends at Crane U, they can help you out with that. When you make that phone call to Crane U and you talk to Nicole or Francis, make sure you mention the next round because they're going to give you 10% off all the great services from our friends at Crane U. They offer the comprehensive state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, the team at Crane U will come to you. On-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Make the job easier, job site safer. Crane U also offers certification and safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes available monthly. CraneU.com or 855-CRANE-U.
And 4 Downs every day presented by Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. You ride along the roads of Alabama and you see these big state, federal government, municipal roadway projects going with the asphalt being laid. Really good chance you're seeing our friends from Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. So you know they know what they're doing, right? But it may also make you think that they don't have time for your smaller job, a parking pad, a driveway, a parking lot for your business or your church or your community center. That is where you cannot be more wrong. They have got an entire division focused entirely on those types of projects. It's the same type crews, the same quality, the same no excuse standards, no matter the size of the job. From highways to neighborhoods, Central Alabama Asphalt, client-oriented, quality-focused. You can get a quote from them by calling 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Carrie Underwood, 43 years old today. Ultimately, better career, Carrie Underwood or Bryce Underwood? I know where you guys will go on this.
Ultimately, better career, Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
Carrie Underwood's...
She's had one hit, right?
Yeah, well...
No.
I think she's the... Did I hear that she's the top-selling female country artist of all time?
I've heard
she passed
that.
Shania Twain? I think she passed Shania Twain. So that, I mean, this is easy. If that's
Can you
the
name a
case.
second Carrie Underwood song?
I can't name one, to be honest with you.
The one about the keys.
Yeah,
the one about the keys, but you don't know if he cheats.
When he cheats.
I wasn't gonna be able to name the name of it. I was gonna rake the keys side of the door. I knew it was a baseball with Louisville Slugger to the headlight.
It is the ultimate chick go-to karaoke
Jesus Take
song.
the Wheel.
Jesus Take the
Jesus
Wheel.
Take
That's a
the
big
Wheel.
one,
Yeah. I would guess she has 14 number one country songs.
I can believe that.
Maybe even more.
That seems really, really heavy.
No, I think everything for a while that she dropped out went number one in country.
I mean, Lance, if she's the top-selling female country, which I think she is, she holds the record for the most number one singles in U.S. country airplay chart.
Over 18 number one singles on various Billboard country charts and multiple number ones on the Billboard Hot 100, including Inside Your Heaven, Jesus Take the Wheel, Before He Cheats, and Cowboy Casanova.
She's recognized as the top-selling female country artist. 100 million records sold. This is not even a discussion.
That's a lot. Well, you don't know what Bryce is going to do.
Yeah, well, he better be really
Not
good if he's
sell
going to top
100
this
million
one.
records.
Yeah, I mean, I would go Carrie Underwood, but she's like to go back and see what Kelly Clarkson does now. For them to get American Idol right out of the gate, number one.
That's pretty crazy, yeah.
I mean,
because I couldn't tell you the last 15 American Idol.
No.
me either.
Was she
But
never-
her being the first one, number one.
Clarkson, right?
Yeah, and then the residency, her voice.
Underwood was
what
third.
she's
Underwood
done.
was third. I can't remember who the second was.
And she's
Fantasia.
she's walking away from her talk show now just because she's working so much. She's on The Voice. She does residencies in Vegas now. Clarkson can sing, man.
Second down.
Olivia Wilde, 42 years old today. Sharon Stone, 68. Ultimately better career, Olivia Wilde or Sharon Stone?
Olivia Wilde for me.
She's directing. I don't think she's ever going to have the acting career of Sharon Stone.
Unfortunately for Sharon Stone, a lot of people think of only one scene with her.
Do you remember the name of the movie?
Basic Instinct.
Very good.
Yep. And a lot of, I think a lot of her career gets overshadowed by that.
her best,
Casino.
But her best work was Casino. She was great as Ginger in Casino.
But if you say Sharon Stone movies, everybody says Basic Instinct. I mean, that's the first movie everybody thinks of.
I'm asking this. I know she won a Golden Globe for that performance. Did she win the Oscar, though, as Best Supporting Actress?
In Casino?
Yeah. He was up for it.
Was Wayne Knight sweating in that scene in Basic Instinct?
He was.
He was
yeah.
so uncomfortable. I would say Olivia Wilde, but I really don't know much of what she's done, to be honest with you.
And she gets some good bit parts. I mean, she's in the Friends and Neighbors now.
Yeah.
But she directed Booksmart, right?
I'm not sure if she directed that
she
one.
did.
I'm not familiar
I think
with that
so.
one.
Booksmart's great. You've never seen Booksmart?
She was breakthrough director for Booksmart.
Booksmart's great.
Yep.
Oh,
she's been
Wake
nominated
Up.
for a
That
lot.
was Don't Worry, Darling. That was the movie I was thinking about. That movie's trash.
So you don't like it?
No,
Okay.
not at all. I'm going Sharon
trust me,
Stone.
Sharon
no
Stone's done
question.
some trash too, though.
Yeah. So she was on House, the TV show.
Yeah,
Olivia
she had
Wilde?
a
I
like a
don't
bit
watch
part.
the TV. Yeah. Tron Legacy, The Incredible,
Tron Legacy was awful.
Wonderstone.
Absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, Olivia Wilde's not who I thought she was, by the way. I thought she was somebody else.
Were you thinking of Olivia Munn?
Nope, I was thinking about the lady that's married to the guy from
Here we go.
from
Everybody buckle up.
from The Office. She's
You're
British.
thinking of Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah, married to
is who I
John
was thinking.
Krasinski.
Yeah, Emily
No,
Blunt.
Emily Blunt wouldn't even be close.
Yeah, Emily Blunt's fantastic.
I
that's
think
why-
it's closer between Emily Blunt and Sharon Stone than it is between Sharon Stone and Olivia Wilde.
Oh, Emily Blunt's way in front of Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think Emily Blunt's way in front.
Yeah, I jumped on Emily Blunt. That's in my head. That's who Olivia Wilde was.
Yeah, you did.
Third down.
Bad Bunny, 32 years old. Chuck Norris, 86. Better career, Bad Bunny or Chuck Norris?
Bad Bunny never fought Bruce Lee.
That is true.
Yeah. Sadly, I've never seen Bad Bunny cry either. I'm going to go Bad Bunny, though. I probably have consumed more Chuck Norris.
I'm going Lone Wolf McQuade here.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
going
I'll
Chuck.
go. I think I'll go Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris has become his own joke.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to Jimmy America?
Just freaking
Bad Bunny doesn't have his own genre of joke. That's what I was about to say.
You're asking me better career. I mean, Bad Bunny is cashing checks, right? That's what you guys always go to when you go net worth right now.
He's got a net worth, I guarantee you.
Bad Bunny's net worth, man, it's got to be through the roof.
I mean, you do a Super Bowl halftime show, you're a pretty big deal. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't consume his stuff, but it's been a long time since I've consumed any Chuck Norris. And
that's a good
and
point.
My goodness, the Chuck Norris jokes are from the early 2000s, 1900s.
They still go, though.
Yeah, people still use them.
Fourth down.
Justin Herbert, 28 years old today. John Hamm, 55. Ultimately better career, John Hamm or Justin Herbert?
John Hamm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go John Hamm, too.
Just
Now,
with Don Draper.
That is just one
Did
of
I
the
get that right?
most
You did.
iconic characters ever. And I think John Hamm, I don't know why he doesn't get more roles. I know he's starting to get some stuff, but he is a great actor.
Yeah, he seems very well respected for his acting ability. And he was, Don Draper is one of the great characters of TV history, though he's not my favorite character on that show.
Roger Sterling.
Roger Sterling's my favorite character on that show.
By the way, there's a new show. I haven't started it, but I've thought about it just because Roger Sterling is on it.
I'm going to watch it.
And it's called...
I've seen the previews.
It's on Netflix.
The problem with him, though, is I want him to be Roger Sterling in every role he plays.
No, that was the clip I saw.
No,
and
really?
it was dead on Roger Sterling.
Oh, well, then I may watch it because that is one of the greatest television characters of all time.
Yeah, what is the name of that show? It's like a foreign town or something. The kid from White Lotus is in it too.
Yeah, like it looks like it's going to be a really good series.
Yeah, let me. I've got to see this. Frankfurt, maybe.
John Slattery.
Yep. What is he working on right now?
New role, The Rainmaker.
Nope.
I don't know, man.
But I'm sure it's not be that difficult to find.
It is.
I'm looking through John Hamm's filmography.
Yeah.
He was in Hoppers that I saw Friday.
Yeah.
He voices a mayor.
Vladimir.
Vladimir?
Yep.
Okay. If he plays Roger Sterling, I'll watch it because Roger Sterling is a tremendous character.
It is a good. It is. I saw the preview. It is in there for me to watch.
Okay, I'm in.
And yeah, it's got. He's one of the top billing actors on the show. So I don't know what the reviews have been.
Oh,
like
wow.
on this,
Bama Beth says it's Vladimir Lynch and you won't like it.
It is 66% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Bama Beth says don't waste your time with it.
Okay.
That's what she says.
I thought about putting that show on viewing menu because it's a new Netflix release, and then I read the premise and I was like, I'll pass.
This is
so
all
Tyler says
done
no
away.
waste your time.
Vladimir is a promising erotic and academic endeavor that cuts through the cliched noise of typical sex comedies with inspired vigor and actors who make discussions about desire exciting, intellectual, and affecting.
Already saved.
So when did you finish the season, Jim?
Already saved my must-watch list.
Thank you, Bama Beth. I will not check that out. That's all we got.
And that's 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt. By the way, football, when we come back, we'll talk more about the college game. In basketball, Bobby Hurley fired by Arizona State. They're parting ways. Interested in that job?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I can't remember who has done the best with the Arizona State job. Bill Frieder,
I was about to say
left
that.
Michigan to take Arizona State, which was really weird. I guess that was a time in the 80s that he felt like he could just retire into the Valley of the Sun.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember who's had success there.
I know he got him to a Sweet 16 here in Birmingham.
Yeah, but I mean, Arizona State is one of those programs where you look at it and you're like, that should be a successful program. Like, are you always puzzled? How can Arizona be the program they've historically been and Arizona State be same state, seemingly the same resources?
It's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, how can one be that dominant and one be kind of mid the way Arizona State is?
And Nebraska extended Fred Hoiberg yesterday, $5 million plus a year through 2031. He's done a wonderful job there at Nebraska. His buyout goes down, starts his buyout next year is $8 million, and then it goes down
Hell
to
of a
$6
coach.
million, $4 million, $2 million to nothing. So Fred Hoiberg with a contract extension there at Nebraska. He's done a wonderful job. Nebraska has never won an NCAA tournament game. Am I right about that?
I think you are correct about that.
Wow.
I think you're right.
Chance that changes this year is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we will get into some more college football and our bracket punishment. We'll discuss that coming up in the next segment on the show that's being brought to you today by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision LT.
205-969-8100, the number I called back in 2003. I was wasting money each and every year on the contacts and solution. Complete pain in the ass to take the contacts out before bed, put them back in the next morning. I don't worry about that. I've got 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. Zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. NextRound.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at NextRound.store. Take the next round anywhere with NextRound.store.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Looking for the ultimate weekend in Birmingham? The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix is back at Barber Motorsports Park, March 27th through 29th, bringing big energy, big crowds, and unforgettable moments. It's more than a race. It's a full day of excitement, family fun, food, music, and world-class competition, all set on one of the most beautiful venues in racing. The Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix at Barber Motorsports Park. Get your tickets now.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hi, this hour brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Man, if you're hungry right now like I am and you think to yourself, I would love a great destination lunch location, Dunaway, what can you do for me? I would just say one thing, Champy's. I'd say one address, Highway 119 in Alabaster. And then I would say, that's the 35007 if you're wondering. And then I would say one name, Sterling. That's all you'd need to know. Chicken's brined overnight. It's cooked to order. Is piping hot when it comes out. Got that Mississippi Delta recipe tamale for an appetizer for you there. Got the caramel cake in-house made for the dessert there, or key lime pie if you like that. Hand-cut chicken fingers, in-house made sides. It is just delicious. It's right off of I-65. It is right there in Alabaster on Highway 119. Champy's Chicken. They are fantastic. We love Sterling and the crew down there. We'll get to our bracket challenge payoff, what you guys are suggesting a little bit later on, as we will have our brackets in place, and we need to have them locked up by Tuesday next week. No changes on Wednesday. Is that a...
it's fine with me. I normally do mine right away and just stick with it.
That's fine.
Because you're going out of town.
I'm going out of town, and I'm okay with us not discussing it on Tuesday, but locking it in with me out of town, and you guys can discuss everybody's pick on Wednesday if you want to do that. Or we can do it on Tuesday. We'll talk about that later on. That's coming up later in the show. A couple of things in football, though. One of them, there is no way I would ever let one of my players participate in what's about to happen. But coming up in March 21st, the Fanatics Flag Football Classic is happening. It was going to be over in Saudi Arabia, but because of the war in the Middle East, it has been moved to Los Angeles at BMO Stadium, which I think is the soccer facility there.
Cool-looking place.
And they're going to play it March 21st, and it's going to be a couple of our USA football teams that'll be competing for gold in Los Angeles in 2028, but also some former and current NFL players will be part of it. One team will be captained by Tom Brady and Jalen Hurts, and another team will be captain and quarterback by Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels.
Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels have been nothing but injured. I mean, those guys have. I mean, Jaden's got a short career, but it's already been defined by injuries, and Burrow's whole career has been defined by injuries.
And maybe these guys really want to participate in the Olympics and win a gold medal. Maybe that was a dream, but at the same time, like, these are the ones that don't want to do the Pro Bowl because they don't want to risk injury. It's exhibition. I don't understand why we are sending NFL players to do this.
Listen to one of the names that's in the pod to player. We're not. The U.S. men's national team will be captained by Amir Brown and Daryl Doucette.
Okay, there we go.
And so that's the other. That's the team. These NFL teams are preparing our flag footballers to get ready.
So they're scrimmaging, basically.
So even worse, you could get hurt in a scrimmage.
Yeah, this is a tournament.
They don't need it.
Miles Garrett is in the pod of players. Odell Beckham, Rob Gronkowski, Logan Paul. But Saquon freaking Barkley is doing this.
Speaking
There's
of career
no
defined by
way
injury,
I would be letting Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley out there if I was the Eagles.
And by the way, this is not to get our players ready for the Olympic Games. This is to bring in
it's to get publicity.
Yeah, more of a buzz for this. That's all it is.
Yeah, because you could go find college players to do this. This is, well, if I was a Cincinnati fan, as much as Burrow has been hurt,
no way.
I mean,
I guarantee you could get the best intramural college team in America, and they would win the gold.
Probably so against the rest of the world, yes.
For sure.
If not win the gold, they're good enough to scrimmage our guys that we're going to play.
Much like me picking Italy in this World Baseball Classic, you're forgetting the people who would declare to play for, they wouldn't be on the USA team, so then they're declaring to play for.
You're not going to get that in Latin football, though.
Their heritage.
But I think, Dunaway, that flag football is such a different sport than real football.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's enough of a difference there.
But our football players I would say 95% have American backgrounds.
Yeah.
You might have some Canadians out there.
But see, you can be an American. You can be an American and born here and all that, and you just decide, my family is of Italian descent.
And the Italians are like, oh, sure, that works for us.
Yeah, you can come play for the Italian team. You just have to declare
so
that you're playing for that.
That means Tommy DeVito's the quarterback for Italy.
Yeah, it really does.
I grew up with these two guys playing soccer. One of them, they were both born and raised here in Birmingham. One of them declared for the Americans, and the other declared for Puerto Rico because their family is also from Puerto Rico.
Okay. Yep. Did that work for either one of them?
Yeah. Worked for both, actually.
Oh, both. Okay. Well, there you go.
So that's why this Italian team, none of these players are from Italy that's playing for
I'm sure
Italian
some
descent. I don't think any.
Is that much, though?
Yeah, I don't think any of them are actually
Italian
citizens.
I don't know if they play baseball in Italy.
I don't know if they do either. Back to college football. We showed you yesterday Cam Coleman for Texas as they started spring drills. Arch Manning is not really participating. There he is in the black jersey, actually walking with Cam Coleman. He's out there doing some throwing, some tossing, ramping back up from his offseason foot surgery, but he will do nothing this year. In fact, cut 6, Tyler, here is Sarkisian on Arch Manning's status, and now he's helping the other quarterbacks and skill players.
Yeah, no, he's right on path with where we thought he would be. Again, we're not in a rush to get him out there. He did some throwing today, not when you guys were there, obviously, but he's right on course. We're just not in a rush, But I do think his experience, having been 3 years in the system, and knowing the stage that KJ's in, kind of in year 2, the stage that Dia and MJ are in, their first time going through it, he can offer some subtleties that maybe are from a different perspective than mine or Coach Milwee or Coach Bamonte that sometimes resonates a little bit better for a younger player, as well as with the receivers. That communication with those guys, whether I'll use Cam as an example, watching him run a route, come back, and then that communication with where they're at of how Arch saw it, or how Cam saw it, and why he ran a route a certain way. And so all those things are underway, and we'll get him going more and more as we get through spring. And again, we got 3 this week. We get spring break. We'll get back. So I'm in, like I said, I'm in no rush. I want to make sure he's 100% healthy, ready to go.
That's Steve Sarkisian there. By the way, Cooper Manning, Arch's dad, tells our buddy Chip Brown that the injury happened his freshman year when he was used mostly as a running quarterback and backup to Quinn Ewers, that he played all of last year with foot pain. and it got re-aggravated in the Texas A&M game at the end. And Arch and Cooper decided, Arch was like, I don't want to play a whole nother year with the pain I've played this year. Let's go ahead and get this fixed. And so he's not playing with pain. He could play through the pain. He was never going to miss a game. He just was tired of dealing with the pain. So basically it was pain relief. Nothing major for Arch.
Makes sense. I mean, he's planning on playing football for the next 15, 20 years of his life. Might as well get it done sooner than later.
North Dakota State, remember yesterday they were one of the teams we talked about being favored in every game. It's not going to happen, but we got their schedule now. They play games against Air Force, Wyoming, Hawaii. Some of those, Hawaii will be easily a favorite over North Dakota State this year. I think Hawaii's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, Timmy Chain's got that.
He's done a heck of a job. Yeah.
Their very first game in the FBS, though, for North Dakota State is at the Fargo Dome against
Big C, little O, CKS, Jacksonville State, a home and home with North Dakota State. That's a long way to go for a home and home.
I mean, that'll be a tough game.
Yeah, the opener, week 0, Jack State in.
That's a good game.
Yeah, week 0
Dome.
too. So that should get a decent TV window. Yeah. Would you not think? I mean, I have not seen our week 0 schedule, but I have not seen any big games that are on week 0.
I would guess it's a top 5 game of week 0.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an ESPN2 type game. So good publicity for Jack State. Pretty cool to see that, in the Fargo Dome.
Matt Stahl of AL.com, actually through his reporting and Freedom of Information Act, got the fact that Alabama, their deal to play Georgia State, if you can pull up Alabama's schedule, Forster, Alabama's deal to play Georgia State, Alabama's paying them $1.3 million to play the game, Atlanta to Tuscaloosa there. But one of the things that is written in the contract is that Alabama has the option, if the NCAA changes the rule that anybody can play a week 0 game, Alabama has the option to move the Georgia State game to week 0. It's in the contract written by Greg Byrne for the Alabama-Georgia State game. If Alabama chose to do it, they can move the Georgia State game to week 0 to start the season, if that's something Alabama wants to do, if the NCAA changes their week 0 rules.
I mean, the good news is Tuscaloosa is really cool in August.
Yeah. Same Labor Day weekend. You're not going to change the temperature there.
Now, keep in mind,
it is one of the hottest places on earth, is Tuscaloosa.
It is. That's 2028, so a couple of years to worry about that. But that would, I don't know. I feel like week 0 is where off-brands go to play unless you're playing the Ireland game.
I think by the time we get there, everybody's going to be playing week 0.
What I would like about week 0 is it gives you another bye week if you're in a single bye season. Now, last year you had a double bye season or 2 bye season. So
we're about to go through a stretch where there's not. There's a single bye season.
And I liked it last year, honestly. I don't know how the coaches felt about it, but it felt like the season was longer, but having 2 byes I thought was really good.
Yeah. And look, this would be like a final tune-up. It's like a final scrimmage, really.
Yeah, and gives you probably, I don't know where your other bye would fall. I don't know if you would also play a week 1 game. They're currently scheduled to play Ohio State the week 1 game. And that may be the thought behind it is play a game, have a week off, and then play Ohio State. I don't know. Or Greg Byrne may have just put it in there because they put it in all their contracts. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see Alabama choose to play a week 0 if they could.
Go read all of Matt's stuff there at AL.com and follow him on social media. Our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, a great follow as well. You should go ahead and just write this number down for when we have storms like we did last night. There were hail in the area, wind, limbs down. If you have any storm damage, call Greg first, even before you call your insurance provider.
I called him last night. 6:30, he's still out working.
Yeah, it's been that stormy of a season. It's only going to get worse. You want the number on standby, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531, stormrestorationroofing.com, the website, or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. He's got his builder's license, so he can help with some of the repairs himself. He'll give you a free no-cost roof inspection, roof replacement when your roof ages out, storm damage repair, but also soft wash programs to make your roof look better from the curb, especially if you're about to sell your home. He does it all for you, and he's great with the insurance company. So call him first, and he maybe can help steer you down the right path to make sure you're getting maximum coverage from your insurance provider. 205-542-3531, stormrestorationroofing.com. All right, Brownie. Let's talk bracket payoff. This is more than office pools with the Super Bowl. When it comes to sports, the filling out the bracket is the most unifying thing we have in the American workplace.
Well, it's simple. Everybody can do it, whether you're right or wrong. I've been in the workforce, from back in the Jocks days since 1998 to now, and I just remember everyone up there filling out brackets.
Yeah. To remind you, too, we've discussed already on this show is the Cannonball Run, which we've talked extensively about. As we mentioned to Clay, the Oregon Trail came up yesterday. Doing it in a car, not in a wagon, but the winners get to predetermined stops for the loser, and they have to execute some sort of challenges along the Oregon Trail. I believe it was Jace in the chat room said you could also do the Orgeron Trail and do a show from every city where he coached. That would be interesting. He's got some good cities, bad cities, by the way. The Orgeron Trail was really good.
Buddy Paul sent me 3 really good ones, so whenever you want me to give you those.
All right. Here are some from the chat room. I don't know if these are original, if these are taken from other people, but here we go. Loser has to do a storm chase one night with Josh Pate. That was original. I don't know how big of a punishment it is. I would not enjoy doing it. I would like hanging with Pate, but storm chasing does not sound fun to me.
I mean, first of all, you're putting Pate out there. Like, he's not going to want to do that with us.
That's true. This is asking a lot of Pate. He's a very nice man.
I think we could find a storm chaser that would allow us to actually
I actually know another one.
along.
I know another one that he would 100% allow us to tag along. He does some stuff for Span.
I trust Pate. He's got so much going on in his life that his show's never been more popular. His deal with ESPN. He's got a new wife. I would trust chasing storms with Josh because I know nothing bad would happen.
He's got a lot to get back to.
Yeah. I don't want to just go with random Joe. Yeah. It's going to put me in a bad position.
And on top of that, that is a real spur of the moment. Like I didn't know last night was going to be as severe as it was. Sometimes those things spin up quick and you got to be ready to rock.
Yeah, I mean, so is it one of those things where you're sitting there ready for kick at any time over a week?
That's right.
I think it would be too impossible to plan.
Pate calls and says, meet me in Lawton, Oklahoma. We're chasing tonight.
Of course, I feel pretty good if you're in Alabama or Oklahoma in April, you probably could figure one out.
Yeah. This would be very time consuming. I can find out if you guys like how long, but loser has to take Taekwondo until they earn a green belt. My daughter is a black belt, and that has taken years.
I'm voting against that.
That's going to be good exercise.
I'm not a very limber person. I never have been.
I have no desire to do that for that long of a period of time.
I would imagine I've got to get a pretty high kick at some point and put my foot through a board in order to
Also, we have to film this
content.
That's the other side of this.
But I would love to see you in a gi.
That would be funny.
Someone recommended, there wasn't a whole lot of context to this, drive the SEC. I assume all these drive things have challenges involved, but you got to drive from Columbia, South Carolina to College Station.
Well, I've
with challenges
often,
in between.
I've pitched this a couple of times. I think that should be an off-season thing we do as a show. We should pack up into a Johnson RV and start at Columbia, and we do 5 one week, 5 another week, 5 1 week, and
that sounds exhausting.
I got a family I want to see.
Not in 3 consecutive weeks. I'm not going to a month. Over
Yeah.
the course of the summer, we take 1 week here, 1 week there, 1 week there.
12 hours at the Floribama in a ski suit, like a snow skiing suit.
This is one that came up here.
Okay, so somebody else has done that one before then. That would be hot. You would also get looks. Now that's one.
It depends on when it is. I mean, the Floribama can get cold in November and December.
That's one where we could do our show from there, so the entire show could be there, and we could build around
I
it.
thought I left that one out. So he sent me like 5 or 6, and that was one I thought was so stupid I left it out.
Okay. Do a. I'm reading all the.
I get it.
I'm
do
not.
You guys think that's a good one?
We've probably had better. Again, I think you could get some funny video from it.
Yeah, my only takeaway on the Oregon Trail right now is when you guys said it, I'm like, I sort of want to do that. And that falls into not the punishment.
Yeah, no, the only way it really works is if we put difficult challenge every single day that you're driving for 6-7 hours, and then you're like, damn, once I get there I got to do this shit. I don't want to do it.
I've got to do a Western gunfight show.
You know what would be crazy if you just had a challenge at the end, like you can't move to point number 2 until I make 5 3-pointers in a row or something.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's still not a punishment, really.
You can't move until you get 5 3-pointers in a row. So it takes what we do on Barstool a lot, where you lock them in the gym until you do something.
But I mean, that's going to take an hour tops.
Oh, I don't
He
know.
hit 5 in a row. I may be there for 5 days.
I mean, you missed what was it? 19
28 in a row.
I missed. Yeah, I was one of 28. I think at Auburn.
I don't play for Bama. I ain't gonna hit 5 in a row probably.
Kevin says the Oregon Trail with the electric car is the way to go because it's about 5 hours is all you can go, and then your charging station.
You couldn't do it. I don't know if there's enough charging stations.
We said it's a 33-hour drive, so if you can go 5 hours at a time, I mean that is a 7-day journey at that point.
And you got to stop and make camp.
Yeah.
And as LT saying, just finding a charging station.
No, that would be. I mean, that's a punishment in itself if you can't do a hotel.
Exactly.
On the Oregon Trail, if you've got to sleep in the car.
Exactly. The nice hotels aren't a punishment.
How bad do I smell at that point? Well, the losers could book the hotel, and the winners got to do proof of life on the hotel.
No,
or
but if
something
you
like
sleep
that.
in the campground, look, and I'm throwing myself out there, but if you sleep campground, then you got to shower at truck stop or campground.
Or we can find like the nastiest Motel 6 in the state.
No, thank you.
Do a French Quarter street show until you get $50 in tips.
Okay, we're getting the same ones. That was
Okay,
one I
so
was going to
somebody
throw
else
out
has
there.
done that one,
They,
yeah.
they were saying play the drum until you literally get $50.
Oh, they at least reworded it for me. So some sort of French Quarter street show, and you got to get $50 before you're done.
Yeah, I'm not good at playing the drums. It would be a French Quarter streak show would be my best chance of getting 50.
Give the man
Put
50.
some clothes on.
Get out of here.
Oh, we could paint you silver.
Sit courtside at a WNBA game as an opposing fan, super fan to the opposing team. So you're courtside WNBA, whatever the out-of-town team is, you're their super fan. Like you're going nuts every game, every play, whatever.
So this was a little
Courtside
deeper on that
tickets,
one.
that sounds awful.
Yeah, no,
WNBA.
This
Tyler.
makes it painful.
Okay, never mind.
So go
I
to the
take it back.
WNBA game, buy a courtside seat. You can't drink. You have to watch the entire game, and you immediately fly home after the game.
I mean, I like the idea of being the super fan, like going nuts. That's good video. So I'm not out on this one.
So you fly in, you fly out.
Yeah, so you don't get any enjoyment out of it.
No enjoyment of staying in a city.
You can't do anything in the city except land and go to the arena.
That's
and
right. Be
then
a super
arena
fan
to the airport.
and get right back on the
Any
plane and come
food
home.
has to be bought at the arena, too.
That's right.
No
Or the
nice
airport.
restaurants.
Or the airport.
Yeah.
Or the airport, yeah.
If we do something like that, it's got to be everybody's got to say, okay, we're sticking to it.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
And
trust you guys.
I'm going to take a really controversial sign.
The $5,000 challenge. You've got $5,000 to buy a car and fund a 5-day road trip out of it. You can only spend the $5,000. So you got to plan this because you got to get a car that's dependable enough to get you 5 days on the road, but you also got to have enough left over for hotel, food, and everything. We'll have to turn in receipts or something like
and
that. Gas, everything.
Yeah, so is the
$5,000
company just going to
challenge.
lose $5,000?
Yeah, we've got to get a sponsor for this, Lance. De-shingle a roof with Greg from Pell City. You got to go up on the roof to take the shingles off.
I've done it before for Habitat for Humanity. My fear of height has only gotten worse and worse.
Yeah.
That would be hard to do. But that is doable.
I believe someone in the chat added in July as well.
Oh, in July. Did I leave that part out?
Yeah.
Unintentionally, Tyler?
Yeah, a little Freudian slip.
Boy, you want to talk about a hot job. De-shingling a roof in July?
Yeah, I don't know
No
if you
bueno.
ever stand up quickly in the shower and you get dizzy. Can
Yeah.
you imagine being on a roof in July?
Yeah, well, I mean, in my
Manuel and Enrique make you.
in my townhome neighborhood, there's so many. It's a constant. Like they're working. That company that I always try to pitch Greg from Pell City to them, but the company that does it, there's a crew working year round every day. It seems like in my neighborhood, there's that many roofs.
Right.
And they're across the street from me. They did mine last summer. They're across the street from me right now, and it's a good time to be up there because it's not that hot. When they were doing mine, it was July last year.
Oof.
And those guys they got there. They had no problem. The HOA is pretty strong. They had no problem at 7 a.m. going.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're doing this at 7 a.m. And Maggie's like, well, it's 100 degrees today. They can't be up there in the middle of the day.
I'm trying
and I
to
said,
sleep.
I was like, that's not a me problem.
I did not say that.
You know
It
what'd
ain't
be
my
good?
job.
We got 5 different residents. We've got to go leaf blow without them knowing. Like a president's mansion at Alabama. I mean, like we could come up with 5 different ones. You just have to show up with the leaf blower and go until you get kicked out or arrested.
Sankey lives in town too.
Yeah, we go to Greg Sankey's house.
Oh,
5
boy,
residents
can you
leaf blow.
grumpy Greg?
Like 7 a.m.
I delivered Chipotle there one day.
Did you? Yeah, did you?
Yeah, maybe of a year or so ago.
The one Saturday Sankey doesn't have to be in an event, and 6:30 in the morning, we're out front out there.
I mean, if we pick the right residents, I mean, it would be fun.
I don't want to get shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're blowing my leaves, I'm going to let you go.
I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Live show from the women's NIT final. To put that in perspective, I've got a list of the most recent cities where the final was held. It's held on campus, the women's NIT. Amherst, New York, Edwardsville, Illinois, Lawrence, Kansas, Brookings, South Dakota, Collierville, Tennessee.
Yeah, but if there's like the one where we're flying in for the WNBA, it's airport arena back to the airport, and then if you got to wait 4 hours for your flight, you got to wait 4 hours from your flight. I mean, I can go to Lawrence, Kansas, and have a great time.
You can. I mean, there would have to be some bet. Can you go to Amherst, New York, and have a great time?
Yeah, I mean, any town. I mean, LT proved that when he did the Amish challenge. He got to Lancaster, and
it was fun.
It was a great town.
Yeah.
Loser has to spend a day at the Inverness Country Club pool only in a Speedo.
That's not really punishing me.
Fair.
That's a good point. You're right. A lot of people pay for that one, don't
Why
they?
does humanity have to suffer for my bad bracket?
I'd like to bring these two suggestions back. Loser has to attend every movie with me for a month.
That was specifically me in the chat. There were two that were specific, one to me, one to Jim, none to Lance just yet.
Yeah.
And then one general one is the 999 challenge. 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, and 9 segments. So you got a show and a half.
Yeah, but you spread it over 2 days. You get some recovery time.
I can't. I would struggle doing the beer part of that.
Yeah.
The hot dog and the what?
It's just 9 segments to eat 9 hot dogs and drink 9 beers.
9 hot dogs would be no problem.
So I could do the 9 beers in an hour, and then I could take the hot dogs over the next couple of days or next couple of segments.
Yeah, you get 2 days to eat the hot dogs.
If LT and I lose, we'll take that. I can handle the 9 hot dogs. You handle the 9 beers.
It's a team effort.
We'd be done in one show.
My suggestion, or no, Dunaway's suggestion, specific to Jim, was we could pile a list at every restaurant he's ever sworn off, and you have to have a meal at all those restaurants.
Well, they're all great restaurants.
No, but you've sworn them all off.
It's not a them problem. It's a me problem.
Bike week in Sturgis, but we're on a moped, which I've never driven a moped. I don't know if you can rent one up there. That'd be tough.
That would be some bike shaming going on.
A lot of it.
That's a good way to get your ass whipped.
It is. Yeah, probably come away
It
with
does
some
seem
lacerations.
like a rough crowd.
I would agree.
How about this one? Get a job at a fast food joint. Work one shift.
Get a job.
Get a job.
They must interview you, get the job offer, and then work the one shift. But we could do the
Undercover boss?
GoPro or whatever. Yeah. So from the interview process, we've got that content. You got to go through it. You got to be serious about it. You got to get the job, and then you got to report for at least a shift.
Well, I hate to screw the owner like that, though. He's hired somebody.
Do you know what their turnover is?
Well, yeah, but it ain't one day. I mean, there are times it's one day, but
Also, if you take anything resembling a resume, they're saying no, thank you.
Oh,
You've got too many skills. And
I don't have a resume.
I'm going to tell him I just got paroled. Yes, I'm finally on the outside, looking to clean up my life, get a good, honest
Tell them
job.
I just
Having
retired,
worked with people
and I got to
on
make enough
parole,
money
they,
just under that
they like to
line
check
that allows me to draw my pensions.
You've worked with people on parole?
Oh, yeah. My manager at Taco Bell went to prison for cocaine trafficking. Not dealing, not distribution, trafficking.
If you've worked a long time in either fast food or landscaping, you have worked with an ex-con.
100%. I did both jobs and worked with ex-cons at both.
So those are the suggestions I have. I mean, of all these, I kind of like the 5 residents leaf blower. Somebody's got to go with us to get the video.
That's not one of my favorites.
Well, it's because you're uncomfortable with it, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'll do whatever. I mean, I'm not going to lose.
I don't know. I mean, see, here's the problem with 5 residents leaf blower. Like, they got to be home. I mean, that's one thing. If they're not home, we get no payoff on it whatsoever.
7 in the morning on a Wednesday.
There are a lot of people that, I mean, if somebody just shows up and starts blowing leaves in their yard, they're not going to say anything to them. They just assume it's their yard crew or something like that. So I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of it.
Some dude was in my front yard blowing leaves.
I mean, I would wonder why they didn't let me know they were coming, but I would assume it was my yard guy until I go look.
You're assuming everybody else has a yard guy.
A lot of people have a yard guy. I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah, but my yard guy's not going to just show up at 7 a.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's got to be early in the morning.
Yeah, I just threw it out randomly. I don't love it. I don't love any of those, though.
Well, we never do. Rarely do we do this, and we're like, God, that's the one.
Yeah.
We have to find it somehow, though.
Brooks.
I just came up with one maybe similar to the thing that Dunaway did in the basketball arenas a few years ago.
I didn't love that one at all.
Pass and kick in 3 colleges in the state of college stadiums in the state of Alabama. It could be a D3 school. Could be, or just 3 different college football stadiums. You got a punt and 1, pass and 1, kick and 1.
It's just not really a punishment, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not.
I mean, it's a challenge.
I'll go ahead and tell you, Brooks. Lance is a tough crowd on this one.
Yeah. Well, and
we've just had some great ones. It's
that's
tough
points.
to get on.
That's
but
what I was about to say. 16 years, we've done some really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, I threw out 3 to Clay that I thought were all really, really good.
No, we've done some good ones.
The basketball, that was last year, right? The basketball
2 years ago,
2 years
yeah.
ago? Oh, yeah. Last year was you having to come back, right?
No, what was last year?
Last year
was the spray tan, and it fell apart.
Well, I mean, look,
places were closed.
honestly, the last 2 years we haven't had everybody get behind it. That's why the last 2 have completely sucked, especially last year, because nobody. That should have been so good last year.
And the place was closed. There was just all kinds of stuff.
It was a bunch of bullshit, but yeah.
So we can't have that.
We just got to get everybody in on it. If everybody's in on it, we get a good one, then it'll work out.
Yeah. All right. That is the bracket challenge. We'll discuss it some more, come up with something. The show brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. LT, tell us about Hemp Hill.
Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling issues, home or business. They are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train. Again, never ideal when one of these issues arises, but you got to have somebody you can rely on. That is our friends at Hemp Hill Services. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Sterling's the man down there. His crew, a lot of those people have been working together over a decade at that location. 11 years now on Highway 119 in Alabaster. The Mississippi Delta recipe tamale is so unique. It's the best tamale out there. Hand-cut chicken fingers. The chicken is brined overnight. It's cooked to order. It is absolutely delicious. The in-house made sides, the in-house made desserts. It's just a great destination lunch location. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made for quality legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this super speedway, everything usually does.
Hell yeah, boys!
NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Some Alabama football news after Brownie tells us about the great folks at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys.
Shannara.com. That is the place you go when you need legal assistance. Our guy Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Shannara.com. Shannara.com. Listen, he has recovered more than $2 billion for his clients. That's what happens when you've got some core values like these. And these are his core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. Right here in Birmingham, Alabama. That's where his headquarters have been. And in the 25 years he's been here, he's grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
Nick Kelly over in the news conference with Kalen DeBoer as he starts spring practice yesterday and continuing on this week. Coach DeBoer saying that Alabama players London Simmons, William Sanders, Jamarian Latham will all be out this spring. Bray Hubbard will be limited during the spring as they recover from injuries and get ready for a new football season over in Tuscaloosa. Thought that was some interesting news to pass along there. And The Athletic has Bruce Feldman, who does a wonderful job with The Athletic, has a 26-coach panel of FBS head coaches and assistant coaches that he polled. One of them was about coaching hires that surprised you. And Alex Golesh's name popped up several times in that conversation. Bruce Feldman with some private coaches. It's a coaches poll done there. One of the FBS coaches said Ryan Silverfield to Arkansas and Alex Golesh to Auburn surprised him because both of those guys were at American Conference schools that had the best resources in their league, and they really didn't do a whole lot with them. That they had an advantage over the other conferences with their financial situation and recruiting area and ended up not doing a whole lot with them. Your thoughts on that one assessment of Alex Golesh?
You know, I think we kind of agree, like Ryan Silverfield, like what other Memphis coaches had done before him. It wasn't like he separated himself and it looked any different. South Florida, 7-6, 7-6, 9-3. I mean, it was a fun product to watch. I thought they got better each and every year under Golesh.
I think with Golesh, you were a little bit buying his SEC background as well with Josh Heupel. I don't know that it was necessarily.
Would agree.
A Big Ten coach. Golesh at Auburn was surprising, but not in a good way. I know coaches in that league who thought they should be mopping the floor with them, and they would be losing to them.
I mean, I did think that they should have won the American last year.
Big 12 coach, Golesh to Auburn. I saw him more as an Arkansas guy. I didn't see him getting Auburn unless they got desperate, which they might have.
Jeez. When you give these guys anonymity, they turn catty, don't they?
Big 12 head coach, I was kind of shocked Auburn hired Golesh, but I also think it's good. It was shocking, but he'll turn Auburn into Josh Heupel, Tennessee. I was shocked how many people were going after Summerall because it was the same thing as Billy, same path as Billy Napier. Interesting read from Bruce Feldman.
Yeah, but achieved different results. I mean, Napier did a really good job at Lafayette, but you look at what Tulane did, basically losing key parts off the roster, but still getting to a college football playoff this year. Silverfield, bigger for me. I mean, averaged 8 wins basically a year there at a Memphis program where everybody's doing that.
10-3, 11-2, 8-4 his last 3 years. So that's the records he gave you to get this job. Do you know his highest finish in conference? This is the American. He's been in the American the whole time. His highest finish is tied for third twice.
That's a problem.
He's finished tied for 7th, tied for 8th, tied for 6th, and 4th otherwise. I mean, he's coaching at a place that could easily be the best football job in that conference.
Now, I would say this, though. Golesh never got that high in the American.
He did not. Now, Silverfield was at Memphis 7 years. So I mean, that's
3 years at South, tied for 5th, tied for 6th, and tied for 4th last year.
Yeah.
And that's in the conference. We're not talking losses on the bye games.
I'll stick with it. I like the Golesh hire. He's saying all the right things. It's going to be a fun style to watch. He's bringing in a borderline elite, at least Group 5 quarterback that can be really, really good at this level. And Silverfield, for me, just didn't do enough.
CPAP Plus gets us to trash today. Tell us about the wonderful folks there, the O'Neill brothers, that will help you with a night's sleep. At some point, I'm going to go by there and get a sleep test done, I believe.
You think you're not sleeping well?
I wake up a lot to go to the bathroom, and I asked Maggie, I'm like, do I ever, do I show signs of sleep apnea? I just need to get tested. You can do that with our friends
Does she have
CPAP.
the baby monitor down by the couch?
No, we sleep in the same bed. CPAP Plus, though, the O'Neill brothers.
CPAP Plus, best in the business, identifying what the problem is and making sure that you get that quality 8+ hours of sleep every single night. 5 locations throughout Alabama, 3 right here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280, Trussville. Stop by CPAP Plus. You're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock, ready for you. They've got hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, where every night matters. Again, get NC Willie, Joe, all the guys there. For more information, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
I do not want anything that carries the Starbucks logo on this church property. You hear me? That is Lilith 1000%. I've studied it. It is a demon. It is sexual deviance. I am done with I've been done with Starbucks for a long time. It's communist coffee anyhow. You can go and drink a gallon of Starbucks today. That's fine. Don't you bring in cups in this room. If I see it, I'm going to tell you to take it out. You hear me? I'm telling you, that company is not only one of the most godless companies on the planet, they are full-blown 1,000% a witch's coven. I promise you it's the facts.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. I heard Tyler telling you something about
the reason
Starbucks.
he played that open is in the chat room, somebody recommended as a bracket punishment, you have to go to that guy's service with a Starbucks cup.
And his church is just in Lebanon, Tennessee. So this is very doable.
Very doable, very quick, because I guess you get escorted out if you got a Starbucks
I
cup.
imagine you would get escorted out the second there's like a big disturbance.
Or he does it all for camera, and he doesn't really believe half of the stuff he says.
I believe
Or
Jim
he does
could
that,
be onto
and we
something
get
here.
good content out of it.
But
I
is
see
there
it
a
as a
subtle
win-win.
way to do the Starbucks where you can act like you didn't
didn't
purposely,
know?
like if you wear a Starbucks T-shirt,
Yeah, that would be too much.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, bring in, like, a venti-sized drink or something. Or maybe one of the, like, collectible cups or whatever they make that has the Starbucks
Or you could have
everywhere.
it and you could have your hand around it and they say, oh, it's not Starbucks. It's from Bob's Coffee.
I believe on a Starbucks
Do
cup.
you believe he would get confrontational?
No, because I'm like Jim. I think it's all for show.
I mean, biblically he shouldn't, but, you know.
I mean, he sounds pretty
we play that,
confrontational right there.
Yeah, we play that clip all the time.
Yeah, I think it's for show.
Police in New Jersey shocked a woman after delivering her DoorDash order to her after they arrested the driver who had been on the job. Now, watching your delivery go along its route on a food delivery app is something everyone has done at some point or another. You want to make sure things go smoothly so you don't end up with cold food. Well, in the case of one customer in Washington Township, New Jersey, her delivery ran into an unexpected delay when police arrested the DoorDash driver who was supposed to be delivering the food. Quote, while being placed under arrest, the driver advised officers he was making a DoorDash delivery right up on the block. Instead of letting the food go cold or canceling the order, the officers took matters into their own hands and drove to the customer's home. Quote, I got so scared, the customer said, as the police handed over the food. Arrested your driver, but yeah, we wanted to deliver the food, one of the officers told her before walking away. According to the police department's post, the original driver was a wanted person with warrants. That's pretty nice. They brought the food to her, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's the extra mile.
That makes them better than most real DoorDash drivers.
Literally to protect and serve. Yeah, that is better than a lot. Most interesting situation you got into?
Well, I told you about the dude who was just not all there and started screaming at me. There was one time I got chased by a dog. I was delivering to a house and I started walking up the driveway and I noticed, like, way in the backyard there was a dog, and the dog starts running towards me. And as I'm walking back to my car, I look back, the dog's running, and I notice it's like an Akita Shepherd mix. So very protective, very aggressive.
Will do damage.
Yeah, hauling towards me. I barely made it. I had to hit like a Tom and Jerry kind of jump to avoid the dog biting me. He was going right for my butt cheeks.
God, I wish we could have had that on film. Do you think, though, if you would have been going in, he comes at you, you got their food, is it warranted that you could actually drop the food, let the dog take their food if he was trying to attack you?
Oh, that's exactly what I would have done. I mean, if
their
you have
dog,
if you
it's
have
their
a
fault,
complaint,
yeah.
too bad.
Yeah.
Train your dog or put it away.
Yeah, lock him up.
Mr. Beast back in the news. He has offered to, quote, buy all the ad space possible on another YouTuber's forehead. Now, over the years, plenty of social media creators have found new ways to become a talking point, especially when it comes to putting eyes on their online profiles. Many have bought billboards and online ads, as well as coming up with viral trends. In the case of comedic creator Will Barron, he has brought plenty of eyes to his Instagram page, suggesting that he would sell ad space on his forehead. Now, when I initially read this, I thought he was getting tattoos on his forehead of different sponsors, which would take this to another level. I don't know, like, how crazy this is that you can remove this. I mean, it's really stupid, but he's got 28 subscribers on YouTube, needs to work on that, 72,000 followers on Instagram.
Not bad.
While the majority of Barron's posts are satirical, he is doubling down on being real with a Google form allowing people to register their interest. He said that updated spots are roughly $300 to $600 depending on placement, and he will advertise the space on the forehead for a week. But it comes off, so like, why is this crazy?
I don't know. Mr. Beast got involved, and he is selling ad space on his forehead.
Yeah.
He never said it would be permanent.
That $75 ain't much of a value. Right above his nose, but it's very small.
But I mean, I would write something on my forehead for $600 for a couple of hours.
Would you?
Yeah, probably.
Would you?
Yeah.
Do I get to pick the? Do we get to pick
I
the
really don't
message?
care. Yeah, $600 for 2 hours.
$600
You
for
put
2 hours.
Anything you want.
So there was an
Rams
episode of
suck.
Of I think it was Judge Judy or Judge Mathis. It was one of those, and this guy had done a radio station's April Fool's contest, not realizing it was a prank, where they say $250,000 to the first person who gets the station letters tattooed on their forehead, and the station letters spelled out crud.
KRUD.
Yep. and he was awarded $500,000, $250,000 for the prize money he should have gotten, and another $250,000 to get that removed.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you able, like if you would have done the bet, are you able to get it removed? And how difficult is it to get a tattoo removed now?
Not difficult, but it hurts. I'm currently working on getting Jason lasered off.
Oh.
Yeah.
The little cartoon character on your leg?
Yeah. The little $30 one that I shouldn't have gotten to begin with.
So you're getting that lasered off?
Yeah, it hurts worse than getting it put on, too.
Now, were you intoxicated when you got that one?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just checking. Missouri woman arrested after police say she broke into a home and began eating cereal in the kitchen. Tara Smith was taken into custody March 3rd in Springfield, Missouri. Police say the incident began when a homeowner called authorities after her son walked into the kitchen and discovered a stranger inside of the house.
Oh, she's got...
the girl from Modern Family?
Modern Family, yeah. I can't say her name. Sarah Hyland, I think is her name.
That's it. And it looks just like her. Mm-hmm. Now, the son reportedly came downstairs after smelling something burning, saw Smith inside the kitchen eating Fruity Pebbles and petting the family dog. According to the statement, he told his mother that, quote, there was a strange lady in the kitchen eating cereal. Now, the probable cause statement says the homeowner then entered the kitchen, confronted Smith, telling her to clean up the mess she made. When officers arrived at the scene, they allegedly found milk and Fruity Pebbles scattered across the floor. Noticed a burn odor coming from the kitchen. Police also said, key here, Smith not wearing pants, shoes, or socks and had a jacket tied around her waist. Now, according to officers, she appeared to be under the influence of a controlled substance. Police said it took several minutes to provide her name, and she was making nonsensical comments while smiling and giggling.
So she was eating her Fruity Pebbles while showing her Lucky Charms.
Now, she did admit to consuming marijuana before the incident.
I always liked that Sarah Hyland girl, and she was a funny character on that show, too.
You like Fruity Pebbles?
Not particularly, no.
Just because they jack the milk up?
No, they get soggy too quick.
I always preferred Cocoa Pebbles.
I like the
But if
Fruity
I'm going to
better.
go with a Cocoa Pebble, or I would go with a Cocoa Krispies over Cocoa Pebbles.
Cookie Crisp?
Cocoa Krispies.
What are Cocoa Krispies?
Yeah,
Is that
like
the Rice
Krispies,
that are
but
chocolate?
yeah.
Because you also have Cocoa Puffs, which I did not like either.
I don't like Cocoa Puffs.
The chocolate flavored
Styrofoam.
cereals did not do it for me.
I'm right there with
And
you.
Cookie Crisp, those things are way too crunchy. Even when they sat in milk for a minute, they were crunchy.
Beginning March 9th, that was yesterday, the popular Chick-fil-A is introducing the Jalapeno Ranch Club Chicken Sandwich alongside a new lineup of new strawberry hibiscus beverages. Now, the Jalapeno Ranch Club Chicken Sandwich was first tested in Salt Lake City in 2025, now making its nationwide debut. Served on a buttermilk ranch bun, the sandwich features pepper jack cheese, caramelized onion-flavored candied bacon, lettuce, tomato, and pickled jalapenos. Comes with a creamy jalapeno ranch sauce on the side. They're also doing the strawberry hibiscus and Sprite. You can do the strawberry hibiscus lemonade, diet or regular. Also the strawberry hibiscus frosted lemonade. Have you guys had one of their frosted lemonades?
I have not.
Oh, I've had that.
Man, I had one the other. I didn't have it, but like Jack was like, "You got to try this," because him
They're
and
good.
Clayton get it all the time.
Tastes like a
Unbelievable.
lemon icebox pie.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Do you think Chick-fil-A ever has to buy advertising, or they just change a menu item and gets free commercials all the time in all over the world?
I think there is a lot of that. I think they get a nice advertisement when you drive by a Chick-fil-A, and it's always got a line wrapped around.
Yeah.
I don't think they have any brand ambassadors or influencer deals.
They used to have a great deal with us back in the day.
Yeah,
We
they
did
do a lot
with it.
in college football. You know, they do those commercials where people are sitting on the couch and they tell the stories that sometimes I wonder just...
Seems like we have a Chick-fil-A story in trash.
Quite often, yeah.
Almost every week, it seems like.
Which shows you what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like they do a...
I also
menu
think Tyler's
change.
a big fan of Chick-fil-A. Fair.
I am.
A guy stopped me at church Sunday and said, I just want you to know, tell Tyler, I had no earthly idea that they changed anything on the fries. They've never changed how they taste.
You're not a real Chick-fil-A
Well,
fry
this is a
eater.
guy
I
at
don't
a
know what to tell
Baptist,
you.
a guy at a Baptist
You're either
church.
dunking them in the sauce or not eating them.
A guy at a Southern Baptist church. You don't think he's a real Chick-fil-A eater?
I had them Saturday. I can't tell the difference, but I'm dunking them in the Polynesian.
See? You're either covering them in sauce or you're not a real Chick-fil-A fry
So
eater.
you can tell the difference.
I absolutely noticed.
Can you tell the
second
difference,
they
Stoney?
changed
I
it.
can. I'm back raw dogging them. I don't put the ketchup or anything. And
You're doing what to the fries?
I raw dog them, man. I don't put anything on them. And they're worse. I like them better with the pea stuff on them.
I mean, I can't tell the difference.
I never could tell the
dogging and
difference.
pea. All right.
They were crispier the other way around. That's trash today.
Yep.
Brought to you in part by our friends at Gutter Cap. C-Stu can help you out, man. If you don't have clean gutters right now, you saw the rain falling over your house last night like a waterfall. That is bad news eventually for you. Get those gutters cleaned and capped one last time and never have to worry about them again, LT.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I haven't cleaned gutters out, and I can't remember how many decades, but it is dirty. It's dangerous. It's one thing you don't want to do. If you get on the roof, you slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. Call Chris Stewart today. He will come out and give you an absolutely free estimate. Gutter Cap is a patent and cover system. It will fit over most existing gutters. It will keep the gutters clean and free flowing. For more information, guttercapbirmingham.com.
We'll hear from Stephen Pearl tomorrow before Auburn's SEC tournament game. We'll hear from Nate Oates on Thursday before Alabama gets going in Nashville. And Kalen DeBoer talking today. All that on tomorrow's show. New next reel today will drop out for you, or tomorrow, whenever it happens. They're recording it today. And our new Bama and Bourbon later this week. All that right here on the Next Round platform. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.